Good evening, chat. It is Invasion Iraq tonight. That's right. That's right, chat. Let's go. Manifest destiny. I mean, I'm still fired up from the State of the Union, but let's go. Woo!
We're so based right now that we don't even care about the protests in New York. We don't care about these people waving the flag of Iran and marching around saying that Orange Man bad. I think honestly we can say this is a big goddamn swing. This is a big goddamn swing.
Yes.
Go USA.
Yes, it is. This is yes. All net channels. Do you want to know more?
All your base are belong to us.
Yeah,
that's where we're at.
Yes. Welcome to the show. The audio sounds like we're watching an VHS thing. All right, well, I'll shut it off.
Hey, yes, that's a classic film.
Yes, this is big dick energy. Yes, it is. Holy, I told you, chat. I told you he would do it. I said it was going to happen this weekend. I go to bed and look what happens. I wake up to literally just woof. You know, it happens on Purim, which is a Jewish holiday, and it happens on a lunar eclipse. And you know who was born on a lunar eclipse, Ryan?
Mm-hmm. Who?
A man named Donald John Trump. You may have heard of him. You may have heard of him. He was
Donald John Trump on the lunar eclipse.
Yeah.
I mean, look, man, this guy with Maduro and now with this, I think this is a clear message that's being sent now, right? Where we're saying America has the military capability and the information advantage that we can surgically remove anybody, any head of state. If we
get started,
if we want, I mean, like the thing is, like Venezuela and Iran are very different. Iran's a major regional power.
Yes,
like they have a huge military capacity, not as powerful as like an Israel or something, but still, they have a strong military. This is an overwhelming show of technical and informational superiority by the U.S. military.
Oh, it's been absolutely amazing at this point. Absolutely amazing. Like it's so hard to really fathom where we are at this point. I don't know how else to say it.
I mean, if you guys have had your head under a rock, we not only did we launch strikes in coordination with Israel into Iran, but the ayatollah is now reported, and I think the White House has now confirmed that the ayatollah was killed in these strikes, which were it looks like intentionally targeted at him and other officials in Iran. So, and the absolute precision, the capacity to just remove leadership in these countries is, I think, unprecedented. I don't think we've ever had this kind of capacity before.
Not in recent history. And just the way it happens too. I mean, you've never been able to do this, but this is really past our. This is really something. Yeah, we've never been able to do this way. And
well, we always had this problem, like with with the Iraq War, for example. Like okay, we wanted to get rid of Saddam. Okay, but you got to go boots on the ground. You got to do a mass, carpet bombing campaign. You got to, and then we have this nation building project where now President Trump has kind of shown this new U.S. blueprint, which is that we're going to try to negotiate with you, and we're going to make it clear what the U.S. demands are. But if it doesn't work, and if you're going to continue to oppose us and be our enemies, we might just replace you. Like, you're gone, you're done. But we're not coming in and doing nation building, which is very interesting. We're saying, it looks like the new blueprint is we're a surgical strike followed by, now get your shit together, people, because somebody else has to start negotiating with us, but they're going to remember what happened to the last guy.
Oh, it's not Sean who needs me, it's the pups. Yeah, the dogs do need you 2.0. Yes, I know, babe. Wow, you get Wi-Fi. You're getting like signal out on the boat in the middle of the ocean. That's so funny. She's on a cruise right now, cruising.
Get that Starlink.
Yeah, I guess they got something real good. But yes, the fact we could do this, you couldn't do this World War II. Like you would have to demolish like a whole city block to make this happen and kill 10,000 people. But yes, the Ayatollah's compound literally got bunker busted, guys. And from what I was able to read about it, this is absolute devastation here. And it's, from what we can tell and from what's been done here, yes, apparently the IAF, the Israeli Air Force, came in probably with F-35s. And from what I understand, what I was reading, they dropped a couple of bombs and they forced them into the bunkers. And then kind of like, I don't know if, because we talked about this when it happened, Hassan Nasrallah and all the leadership for Hezbollah, they got basically, the Israelis attacked enough that they all went into bunkers. And then the Israelis just kept dropping bunker buster, bunker buster, bunker buster. And just like it's like they're playing a game, and they just kept chipping away at the ground until they found the bunkers, and then just dropped another one and took them all out. Apparently, that's how they got the Ayatollah. They just kept dropping JDAMs and precision munitions on them until they penetrated the bomb shelters or his situation room and killed him. So,
yeah, and
that's his place.
And this is the incredible intelligence gathering, because again, going back to Iraq and Saddam Hussein, Saddam Hussein had body doubles, right? Which is not uncommon in the region. These are paranoid people. They take security measures. Like, yeah, you know where the compound is, but you have to know when he's there. You have to be willing to do it. But the operation and the intelligence needed to do something like this successfully is hugely complex. And it takes an enormous amount of coordination. And yeah, I'm unsurprised to learn that this was a joint operation with Israel, because, of course, with the Mossad, Israel has really some of the best intelligence gathering in the region, as we saw with their beeper campaign.
Yes.
If you guys remember that, when they loaded up beepers with explosives and blew off a bunch of terrorist nuts.
Well, and it's not only that, but also last summer, the Israelis for 2 weeks basically had complete air dominance over Iran and operated with impunity. They literally lost no aircraft, and they were attacking surface-to-air units. They were blowing up precision strikes against Iranian government officials, and they operated with impunity. And this is just a continuation of it. So. Not just the beepers, but there have been multiple things that have happened.
And look, we're going to get into some of the legal stuff tonight.
So if the Romans could have done what we do, they'd do it too.
Oh,
they didn't assassinate foreign leaders because they realized, oh my God, I got to get stabbed. But if they could kill people with impunity like this, oh my God, they would be doing it.
Also, I mean, haven't you seen Mel Gibson's The Patriot? That's a classic American tactic. We weren't lining up with stripes and crosses across our chests and firing in open fields. We were marksmen hiding in the bushes. That's how we go. That's what we do.
Yes. Adam A. Dude says it's all Marco's land now. Yes, it is. It is. It's going to be all Marco's land. It will be the land for the new Shah of Iran, Marco Rubio. Yes, he is getting ready to take over his new duties.
I mean, the thing about Marco is he's a little bit lazy. I feel like he doesn't have enough jobs. I think running another country would probably be good for him.
Well, he's already running Venezuela. And then P-Dub 111111 says, what S-400 doing? Not a whole lot. And Ryan, actually for chat more. S-400 chat is the Russian cutting-edge surface-to-air missile systems that they operate right now. Those have been the thing that they've been that's what they have everywhere fielded, the S-300 and 400. There is an S-500, but that's still kind of like in development. But the 400 system, it's also known as, if you like the NATO reporting names, chat, it's the SA-21 Growler. But that is the 400. And then Obviously the SA-10 is the 300. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ryan. Some of the chat here we like to spurg about that.
We like to military spurg here. No. It's good for me to learn this shit. I've got 2 daughters, so I've been joking with people that as I've moved further and further to the right in the last year or so, I've got like 10 years to get a gun collection going before my daughters start dating. So
you gotta start reading Tom Clancy too. You gotta catch up.
Yeah. So I mean, like, can we just start with the basics?
Yeah.
Like, this was a very bad guy. This is a very bad man.
Yes. Now, if you ask the New York Times, though, he's a hardline cleric who made Iran a regional power. I mean, this is better than austere religious scholar when, the leader of fucking ISIS got killed in a Delta Force raid. I mean, this is better. This is better. They tried. But still, they can't just say he was a bad man.
I mean,
that led a ruthless dictatorship.
This is a guy who, I mean, we don't have the exact number, but I've seen estimates of between 20,000, 30,000 people. Oh, Sean, you took me off screen.
Just this year.
20,000, 30,000 people that he killed while putting down various rebellions. This is a guy who's been like, it's so funny because you're seeing it now that it's being obvious, right? Because people said like, oh, I'm not pro-Hamas. I'm pro-Palestinian. I'm pro-Gaza, right? But it's like, well, Hamas is the leader of Palestine, and they're the elected officials. And who funds them? Where does the money for their weapons come from?
Who funds Hezbollah?
Iraq. Who funds Hezbollah? Who funded the Houthi pirates? Like, if you find somebody, if you find a bad man who hates America with a gun in his hand in the region, odds are good that gun and the money paying his salary came from Iran. That's what Iran is, the regional power that is opposed to U.S. interests. It's the primary adversarial power to our interests in the Middle East. So this is like, this is not a good guy. This is a guy who's been plotting to assassinate U.S. officials in the last couple of years. I think there was like a plan. We foiled a plot of Iran's to assassinate John Bolton a few years ago. This is not a great guy.
Which, it's funny, John Bolton is probably like, on one hand, he's torn because Iran is being bombed, but it's Donald Trump who did it, and it's Donald Trump who's prosecuting him. So it's like, he's got to be like, he probably sitting there thinking, you son of a bitch.
You took my move. You
stole his joy. His joy, chat.
But I mean, like, look, this is the thing. Like, you can't. We've tried to prevent them from getting a nuclear weapon for years,
for decades now,
and they've been hell bent on achieving it. They've been hell bent on opposing the U.S., opposing our interests, funding our enemies, funding people who are attacking ships, the shipping lanes, etc. Like, this wasn't like a day in the making. This has been 35 years in the making with this.
Longer than that. We've had problems with Iran and the Straits of Hormuz forever. They've attacked U.S. ships, tankers. Mm-hmm. They attacked the USS, I think Samuel B. Roberts. Or no, it was the Stark. They hit the Stark. Oh, no, the Iraqis hit the Stark. But, like, we've had operations combating the Iranian Navy in the Straits for decades. Like, this is not a new thing. We've clashed with them before.
And at a certain point, and we're going to get into a bunch of stuff, I'm sure, tonight. But like
Praying Mantis, where Joe Dolio cut his teeth as a young Marine. They know, so my chat knows that is. But and yes. Now, some of this is true. You had people like John Bolton or John McCain, like, Iran's a week away from a bomb, and that's been the thing for like 20 years. I've heard that too, and like, I will say, there are some arguments that, like, I think are clearly bullshit, and one of them is the one Scott Jennings, when he's not out there felting, communists on CNN. He put one out there saying, like, oh, well, the U.S. said, we were going to get attacked. It's like, okay, no, we weren't. We were not. Like, I don't buy that. We could just say we wanted to go take them out. Is this a geopolitical move to hurt Russia? Because guess what? Other than China, Russia's biggest and most powerful friends were Venezuela and Iran, who both had access to oil that they could sell and make money. And Iran was funding Russia with technology and support to build their drones they're using in Ukraine. Like, there's a lot of layers to this onion that are actually good. Like, if you're out there and you're a Ukraine guy, which, you know, I'm not, this is like the best month ever, the best 2 months ever. Venezuela's gone, all the tankers are getting seized, and Iran's out of the game.
Yeah, I mean, both of these moves are great for Ukraine, for sure.
Yeah,
but also they're great for America too.
Yes.
Right? Like it's not like it was done to benefit Ukraine. That's a side effect.
I think this is done to do a lot of things. This is, you know, taking out Iran. That's China's #1 supplier of oil.
Oh yeah.
Now we do have to be careful because the last time we basically took oil away from a Asian regional power, you know, we ended up fighting a war that was pretty bad. And then, you know, might have been known as Japan. It might have been like in the 1930s.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
that turned out to be a little problematic. So.
I do hope that we've learned from our track record, right? Like, I think that, like, for example, in the past, we've tried to do like a lot of nation building in the Middle East. I don't think that works. I think that what we need to do is use the Maduro blueprint, where we go, okay, we tried negotiating, we tried being nice about this. It didn't work, right? So now we just blew up your leader.
Yeah, but
who's the next person to the negotiating table?
I know, but this is where I get worried, because it's like we don't really do this. We haven't really done this. This isn't really normally how we do things. We usually do it where if we don't nation build, we send the United Fruit Company in, like, hey, yeah, you guys, you know, here, run the country. Have a good one. Bye. It worries me because, you know, we destabilized Libya and now it's a haven for freaking ISIS still. We destabilized Syria. And guess what? Al Qaeda now runs Syria. You know, we did all of what we did in Iraq, and 25 years later, we're dealing with it now.
I totally agree. And I think that, like, the Iraq stuff in particular is instructive.
I mean, and that's fine, Exile. I mean, are you mad that, like, which part about it? And I'm not here to pick a fight, but I'm just saying, like, I'm a little curious. I'm a little curious to see what happens here. Like, you know, like, it's hard not to want to dab on all the people screaming, because all the people screaming are usually wrong. But we'll find out. Like, yes, could this easily be a big fucking horrible idea? Yes. But as of right now, just getting rid of the ayatollah and maybe destabilizing Iran, I'd rather destabilize them than Russia or China at this point. And they both need it. Because Iran, not only their nuclear program, but Iran and Saudi Arabia don't get along. And guess Saudi Arabia doesn't have a nuclear program, but it's widely believed that they help fund the Pakistani nuclear program. And that basically they have a couple of nukes sitting on layaway in Pakistan for whenever they want them. If Iran goes nuclear, that they will automatically go nuclear. So keeping Iran down, it's kind of important here. Like, I think there's a lot of, like, this has a lot of good things to it, but it does have a ton of bad things here.
Well, so, I mean, let's go back. Like, there's risks. There's a ton of risk here. I don't want to pretend that there's not a risk.
I would just say, Steve, real quick, Iraq is not doing good. It's an Iranian puppet state. I mean, we ended up dealing with like, we had to kill Soleimani when he was cruising around Baghdad, you know, freely. Like, there's some issues with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of problems in Iraq were funded by Iran, yes, too. But
and look, there's a ton of risk with something like this. I don't doubt that. But I do think that Trump seems to be staking out a new U.S. doctrine, where instead of going in and trying to nation build and create a power vacuum, what you do is you strike the head, but then you invite the existing structure to come back to the table and say, look, we're not destabilizing you completely. We're not taking out your whole chain of command. Like, who's in charge of the country now?
Trump promised them, if you don't oppose us, we will not kill you. We will give you immunity.
Exactly. Like Maduro's VP is a whole lot more compliant than Maduro was because they know what could happen.
Yeah, if we're not debathing Iran, that might be a good idea because that didn't turn out so good. On the right.
And I'm optimistic about this new approach. Now, who knows? Like, could it go badly? Yeah. Could it destabilize, and could an even more violent and terrible person take over? Yeah, it's possible. Though, how much more violent and terrible could you get than this guy was?
I mean, it could be worse, but yeah, I mean, they've not only this 20 to 30,000 people, but there have been multiple uprisings in Iran. The most famous. Excuse me, the most famous would have been the Green Revolution thing that happened when Obama was in office. And Obama said, well, let me be clear. We're right behind you. We love you. And everybody rose up and they all got killed. And tons of them got killed, like a bunch of them. And it was absolutely devastating.
Well, and this is skipping ahead, but like this is the problem is that we had this nuclear deal with Iran at one point that Trump has been opposed to. And there are reasons to be opposed to that plan. Like people talk about it as if the plan was still in place, there'd be no problems. But that plan really created a blueprint for Iran to become a nuclear power in the medium to long term. And with that guy in charge, you couldn't let them be a nuclear power. You just can't.
Yes.
You just can't.
And just like John Bolton, this is Ben Rhodes. This was the architect of the Iran five-way talks. This was the national security advisor for Obama. And he's a little toasty about this right now. Suffer, Ben Rhodes, suffer.
It's funny because like one of the things about Trump that's so interesting is watching who he makes angry.
Yes.
And like he does piss off all the right people from time because like like right now, like I'm in the tri-state area. There are people protesting the death of the ayatollah in New York.
They're freely letting the Iranian government drag their nuts across their face just to own Trump.
And I'm sure these are the same people who were, pro-Palestinian, in doing that kind of protest a few months ago. And I think it's funny because now, at the time, it was kind of like, if you're pro-Palestine, there's a good chance you're pro-Hamas. If you're pro-Hamas, you're really pro-Iran. And now we can actually connect the dots directly, right? Like it is the same people and they're taking the same position, which is like almost a reflexively anti-American position where they're like, America did something, therefore it must be bad. And it's like, well, hold on. Shouldn't your position be this is good until proven otherwise? Like it's your country. Like what team are you on? Like what I'm not saying that everything we do is smart or wise or turns out well. It could turn out badly. We could find out it doesn't work, but like why would you reflexively take the position that what America did is wrong? It's a mystery.
Yeah, well, it's just the issue of they don't want to deal with it. They don't want to deal with it. And I found the thing I was looking for here. This is the meme I was looking for here. This is the one I did want to show. Sorry, Ryan. I thought was just absolutely a banger. Sorry.
Oh yeah.
You're like, we're just memeing a little bit, but we have to. So here we go.
At the starting of the week, at Summit Talk, you'll hear them speak. It's only my...
Sorry, we had to get that. But yeah, no, there. I will say though, who was just talking about his Chapin Girl? I think was talking about the fence. There are a lot of problems here, and this is, I like to use the maps when I talk about things. This is the country of Iran. Hopefully Alan Jackson can learn the difference between Iraq and Iran. If you guys were not aware, Iran shares a massive border with Iraq. So yes, the Quds Force was setting in EFPs, the enhanced penetrators with the copper slugs flying through Humvees. They were helping destabilize the region. You had the Mahdi militias. Now, I will say when ISIS tried to make its push into Iraq, the popular mobilization units, we were actually helping the Quds Force in Iranian special forces. We were doing airstrikes for them to combat ISIS, which makes you really like. It's one of these times where like makes you just want to scream. Like we were doing stuff, and we were when ISIS came in, we were bombing them, and the people on the ground fighting were the Iranian special forces units, and it's just like fucking history is hilarious.
It really is. And I think that I'm really hoping that we've learned our lesson in the region, in that we're no longer in the business of trying to create long-lasting U.S. presence where we because quite frankly, we're great at this. We're terrible at that. Right? Like we're great at coming in and bombing something. And apparently now we're great at surgical removal of enemy leaders. But the plan can't be that we try to police the region, because we're just shit at that. And that's okay. Like know what works and what doesn't work, and evolve your strategy.
But the problem is things are kind of spiraling out of control. Pakistan and Afghanistan are actually fighting right now. And Pakistan launched a ton of airstrikes into Kabul. Like they were doing the thing we wouldn't do. Like they were carpet bombing parts of Kabul as of like a day or two ago. And like things are kicking off there. And Iran's got its own problems. Like there are so many problems here. Everybody would want a piece of Iran. You've got the Baluch people down here with the Baluchistani people. And there have been things that have been showing up on Twitter that have been following it. There are different Baluchistani extremist groups that are going. And the Baluch people also, like, this is all of like their native homeland. And there are Baluch people in Afghanistan and Pakistan. And if they get free or they make a move, these guys are going to want to make a move. And then, we're now talking about destabilizing Pakistan, which is a nuclear power, which teeters on the brink all the time. And while it's teetering on the brink, guess what? The Indians are going to want, are they going to make a move? Are we going to see something in Kashmir? And are the Turks going to come in and seize the area? Because there's ethnic Turks up here. And then there are other ethnic Turks. There are ethnic Turks in this area, and that's because they're technically Azeri, but the Azeris and the Turks are basically cousins. And this is this area of Iran is like 25% of Iran's population right here. And this is one of the most fertile areas left because Iran's had a massive drought. But this is like a massive thing here. And then you've got Armenia kind of like after it got shellacked by Azerbaijan. And it's kind of hanging on by a thread. And, Turkey and Armenia, well, don't ask Anna Kasparian about that. But they did have some bad times, and are the Iraqis going to want to sniff around in this and pick a piece off? Are the Afghans going to pick a piece off? This can easily, and then we have a bunch of ethnic strife and conflict, which, it's kind of one of those deals where, Saddam wasn't great, but he kept the Kurds, the Sunnis, and the Shia from fighting each other.
Yeah.
And, like I said, Chapin Girl, you want to talk about the fence. There's a lot of stuff. That said, though, I do hope this turns out great because I've heard this area of the Caspian Sea is beautiful to go to on vacation.
Yeah, well, look, I don't know that this is gonna. We can't know how this is gonna work out. I just don't. And I will say that Trump is definitely swinging for the fence, legacy wise. Right?
Yes,
he's done some foreign policy moves that are either gonna make or break his legacy long term. And we'll see how this all plays out. But I do think sometimes there's the legacy of the Iraq war turns into this thing where people say well, because that had all the problems it had, America can never intervene. America should never intervene.
Yes, we're evil.
America's not the world police, blah, blah, blah. And I think the problem with that approach is, people get big on power vacuums. They're like, well, now that you've taken out the Ayatollah, there's a power vacuum there. Who's going to fill the vacuum? Okay, that's one power vacuum. But here's another one. when America's not using its military to promote American interests, what's that power vacuum? And that power vacuum gets filled by Russia, China, and as a regional player, Iran. And Iran has had its fingerprints all up our ass for fucking years now. You know, like every time there's like some kind of problem in the region, it's Iran. So
we're the Council on American Islamic Relations. Wait, did somebody say that out loud?
So it's like, yeah, I don't know, man. I think that at a certain point, you know, like, are there risks? Yes. Is there potential upside? Yes. But there's risks to not doing anything.
Yes.
Like if
this you have to say fuck it.
Yeah, this is a maniac. And if he developed nuclear weapons, not tomorrow, but whenever he does, and them developing them was not like a pipe dream, it would happen eventually. This would be a major problem.
Yeah, and guys, I do understand that the Azeris in Iran and the Azeris in Azerbaijan there's differences there, but the one thing they have in common is they're Azeri, and if they could get away from the Iranians, they would. They definitely would, and the Turks would be more than happy to do that. So, how can we blame Darkside Phil for this? I don't know.
We should work on that though.
Yes.
So what was your take, Sean? Like the whole the Iran nuclear deal, and then Trump, moving away from that. Where did you land on all that?
All these nuclear deals. Yeah, we had a nuclear deal with North Korea, and then they built a fucking bomb anyway. You know, we had built that was Bill Richardson's thing. I was the director. I was the Secretary of Energy, and I went to North Korea. We were like, don't build bomb. We'll give you a bunch of food. They still built a fucking nuclear bomb, and we did nothing about it. We tried to get tough on it, but then they're like, oh, Ro, we're all starving. Please help us. And we're like, okay, fine. Have the food anyway. And then they still built a nuclear bomb. I don't trust them. These people that did that, the people created the nuclear deal, also brought us the Arab Spring, and they thought that was a banger. And look what happened there.
Yeah.
For
me, the problem with the nuclear deal was that short term, 10, 15 years, Iran had to make all these promises about not developing nuclear weapons, not refining uranium beyond certain levels, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But all of those promises were going to expire. But in the meantime, they were given floods of cash because all the sanctions get lifted, right?
Of it, yeah.
So they get to build this entire infrastructure, and then when the deal's over, they are going to now they have this amazing economic and technological base to use to build fucking nuclear weapons with.
Yeah.
Right. And there was no, I know some people say oh, well, after this deal, there'll come another deal. And it's why?
Who says what happens if there isn't? What are we going to do then? That's the bigger issue.
Exactly. And Iran was pretty clear. They didn't want another deal. They wanted the end of all these limitations. So.
Yeah, because at this point, they're running around being a regional player. Hezbollah was helping Assad fight in Syria. They were throwing their weight around. They were interfering out in their region. And they were ready to cause problems.
And for people who think that them getting a nuke is about whether or not the nuke can reach the US, that is certainly a big problem. But that's actually not the only issue. If you remember with bin Laden and Al Qaeda when they were hiding in Pakistan, well, why is hiding in Pakistan such a big deal? Well, there are limits to what the US will do to fuck with Pakistan because Pakistan has nukes.
Well, also Pakistan teeters on the brink of stability.
Yeah.
But if Iran gets a nuke, okay, cool. What can they reach? Literally everything here. And guess what we have? We have a massive interest in this region.
Yeah.
And once again, if Iran goes nuclear, Saudi Arabia would go nuclear because these guys absolutely fucking hate each other. Because if you go down to Yemen, Saudi Arabia is the one fighting in Yemen. The Saudi army, the Saudi military, they're getting trounced by the Houthis, but it's Saudi forces that are, getting attacked by the Houthis. The Saudis are conducting airstrikes on the Houthis. And guess who's supplying the Houthis? Iran. These guys are playing the great game but it's the great game in their backyard. They're not Russia and Britain fighting over Afghanistan, fighting on the far side of the world. They're literally, it's like your two neighbors fighting each other on the sidewalk.
Oh, yeah. And if
there's a
this
lot
goes,
going here. And, do you want gas to be $15 a gallon?
well, we have, like you said, we
Yeah.
have very serious interests in this region. We have military bases, we have oil interests, we have economic interests, we have political alliances, with various countries. Like there's a lot at stake. If Iran had a nuclear weapon and had that level of protection where we were no longer able to really fuck with them militarily the way we have in the past, at least by threat, that would change the entire power dynamic in the region.
Mm-hmm. And Tejas, that is a fair point then. Yes, I'll concede that point to you, sir. So I'll concede that point. You say, no, it's for Israel. Yeah, but we have our own interests here that work on that.
Yeah.
Our interests, great, Israel could benefit, but if it primarily helps us, I'm great for that. And having stability in the world, you guys understand all this standard of living we have is because the United States is literally the superpower. If you want, think about how the standard of living is in other countries. A part of that's because they have to survive at the behest of other nations or they can't enforce their will. The standard of living you enjoy is maintained through steel and the threat to kill people.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's the man guarding the gate. That's how it's done. And about the Israel point, just because something is a win-win doesn't mean that Israel's controlling us, right? This is great for Israel, but it's also great for us.
Yeah.
And Israel, by the way, for all the hubbub in our politics these days, is a close ally. It makes total sense that the U.S. and Israel's military and intelligence forces would combine to work on a project like this, because let's be clear, the Ayatollah having a nuke is very, very bad for both of us. It hurts American interests. It's even worse for Israel's interests, I suppose. But this is a bad thing. And I think there's a knee-jerk, Israel thing that people do, where it's if in any way it benefits Israel, we shouldn't do it. But that's not the standard. Yeah. The standard is, does it benefit us?
Yes. And you can have, I'm okay if Israel gets a win, but I want to make sure my win's the primary win. There can be a win-win. As long as the big win is really ours, that's kind of what I want. If somebody else gets a secondary effect from it, great. But Aman Rezu, it's not that you're superpower, but if Iran can affect the oil trade, I don't give a shit if they're, a superpower or not. Like I said, I'm not paying $15 a gallon for gas. You don't have to be a superpower to screw with the world. The Houthis did that. The Houthis shut down the Bab al-Mandab. It shut down the Red Sea. And how bad did that screw with things? Well, and they still have screwed with it, because a lot of shipping still, for insurance purposes, goes around Africa at this point. It's a problem. It's a problem.
Well, and keep in mind, again, if we're talking about oil, people, there is a petrodollar angle here, right? China has been on the brink of breaking the petrodollar and creating the petro-yuan for a few years now. And if the petrodollar breaks, our economy is going to have some real rough times. If you thought inflation was bad around COVID, if we lose the petrodollar, it'll be way worse than that in the short term for inflation. And the move in Venezuela and the move here are strong protectionist moves in terms of the petrodollar. Is that the only reason to do it? No. We talked about other reasons before: national security, nukes, et cetera, regional issues, geopolitical issues. But if you're worried about US's economic interests, protecting the petrodollar is absolutely in the US's economic interests on a very dollars and cents level.
I agree. I mean, that's the thing. It's, I understand people are worried here, but you say that literally won't happen.
Why not?
How sure of that are you? And why, more importantly, why won't that happen? Because people know we will kill them and destabilize their government to make that happen. I mean, the reason why, these shows of force are helpful, because Yeah, like Libya wanted off the petrodollar. You know, there's a lot of countries like, this. Say what you want, but it's, we're probably the better guy to be standing around with the gun on the block than the Chinese.
Yeah, and for those of you who aren't like petrodollar tinfoil hat people, like I've become over the last couple of years, the idea of the petrodollar is that because most, if not all, of oil transactions are done in U.S. dollars, countries are forced to hold U.S. currency because they don't want to trade it in and lose money when they trade the money in. So they park the money. Where do they park the money? They buy U.S. treasuries. So when we have this massive, massive fucking federal deficit, it should create worse inflation than it does. The reason it doesn't is we get this influx of free money from the petrodollar that just stabilizes the economy. It is a big deal. And Venezuela was a long-term threat to the petrodollar. I say was, doesn't seem to be anymore. Iran becoming a nuclear power and beginning to bully the entire region around it was a long-term threat to the petrodollar.
And if Iran were to destabilize, if Iran destabilizes the Saudi government, which it's not a stable government in Saudi Arabia. The Saudi government, they kind of have gotten a lid on the Wahhabism there. But even in Saudi Arabia, you have a problem with the massive, like, you want to talk about like 99% versus the 1%. That's Saudi Arabia. They have massive inequity. They have massive class problems. If Iran destabilizes Saudi Arabia, we go through like, oh, no, that'd be a horrible deal. If they close down the straits and destabilize Saudi Arabia, like, that's a big fucking problem.
Yeah, and Saudi Arabia has been, I mean, like they're far from a perfect country, but they have been friendlier to us compared to other regional powers, let's say, though not friendly enough in some ways. But there is a real threat here to U.S. interest, is the point I'm making, right? Like if they started bullying Saudi Arabia in a very serious way, if they started, if they got a nuke and they started getting aggressive with Turkey, and now our European allies are saying that we need to do something, like Iran becoming a nuclear power would have a tremendously destabilizing effect on U.S. interests. There's just no other way around that. That's why we've been doing everything we could to prevent them from becoming a nuclear power forever. I mean, remember when we hacked, we used cyber warfare and we blew up their centrifuges with a computer virus?
Yes, like, called Stuxnet.
Yeah. I mean, we've been doing everything in our power to stop the nuclear proliferation in that country forever.
Be careful. If any of you out there, I don't know how many of you would do it, but I knew a guy in law school. He was an IT guy. He had Siemens gear. And Stuxnet attacked Siemens equipment, and he had Stuxnet, like, he was cruising around the internet on the dark, like he cruised around the deep web, and he fucking Stuxnet on his stuff, and he had it sitting there on one of the, like, I think it's on one of the blades or whatever they call them out, and I'm like, what's on there? He's like, oh yeah, Stuxnet, don't touch it. Like, trash his stuff.
At least he didn't have any centrifuges to blow up. Yeah. One of my resident trolls is saying that I lack emotions. No, man. What I lack, and this is the shit that pisses me off about the modern left so much, I lack this suicidal need to pretend that I value the lives of people I have never met in countries that I have never been to at the same level that I value my countrymen and my interests. I am delighted to prioritize American interests over the interests of my enemies. And if you don't think Iran was America's enemy, you just haven't been paying attention for the past 40 years. Like, they are obviously our enemy. And at a certain point, you have to know what team you play for. Right? Just know what team you play for. You don't have to like everything your country does, but you have to know it's your team, right? It's your fucking team. So cheer for your team, and then feel free to criticize. But if you're
testify,
if your fucking knee-jerk reaction is that I'm a big asshole for saying that I am delighted that America is protecting American interests, then you need to get your head out of your ass.
Just testify. Testify, brother Ryan.
People make this shit so complicated.
They do. They do.
America uses its military to protect American interests because those are our interests. Mm-hmm. It's not more complicated than that.
Yeah. And empathy for people who hate you is reckless. Yes.
Yes.
It is.
And by the way, this wasn't. It wasn't like we swarmed them and carpet bombed the nation and recklessly killed millions of civilians or something. Like, we surgically struck the command structure of an enemy nation that has attempted to kill Americans for fucking 40 years. And by the way, just murdered 30,000 people in the last couple months. They murdered 30,000 people in the last couple of months. Duck, where the fuck is your empathy for the 30,000 people the Ayatollah murdered in the last couple of months? You sick sack of shit.
That was praxis, Ryan.
Yeah, this is what I mean. It's like, I fucking lack empathy. Get your head out of your ass.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll stop one guy and the guy in chat.
That's all right. No, we got to do it. We got to have somebody to beat on here. But ultimately, where this goes now is legally, this is all illegal and unconstitutional. Well, the law allows for it right now because the War Powers Act allows for it. And yes, if you think it's unconstitutional, guess what? Congress abdicated their power and gave the president the ability to launch mini wars without their approval or requirements. Why? Because Congress realized, oh my God, if I vote for a war and it goes bad, I'm not going to be a congressman very long. So you know what they did? They did what every government official is good at going, and they go punt, and they kick it off to somebody else, and they say, I'll let the president handle that problem. And now they can say, it's not my fault. I didn't do it. But we had the War Powers Resolution. What is that? And yeah.
Just to give a little background on this.
Yes.
Constitutionally speaking, there are some people out there who are like, they think they're some fucking genius scholars, and they're like, Congress has the power to declare war, not the president, therefore unconstitutional. Yes, dipshit, we've all read it. We've read the Constitution. It does say that. However, throughout the history of our nation, the president has always enjoyed unilateral authority to have some military power short of a declared war. This is obviously necessary. Could you imagine, Sean? Imagine if the British were invading, right? Mm-hmm. And then the president has to go to Congress and get a declaration of war to defend the country. It's like, hold on, we need 3 months.
This is in the summertime. It's the summer of 1807. And everybody's gone. And it's 2 months till, Congress can get here. It's going to take you a month to get word to everybody. And it's going to take a month for all of them to get here. Yeah. And the British are marching into Virginia or marching through Maryland. We should be like, well, I guess we're fucked. Oh, well.
There have always been situations where the president needs to act and get Congress to declare the war later. Mm-hmm. And my friend Lactoid recently reminded me that Thomas Jefferson, that old sod, he fought the Barbary Pirates, and he started fighting them and got congressional blessing later. And this War Powers Resolution, historically, this is a response in part to the Korean War.
Well, this was a response to Vietnam.
Oh, to Vietnam. Sorry.
This is Vietnam, because this is 1973, because we saw in Vietnam the way, especially even during the Kennedy administration, the amount of special forces teams, the amount of advisors was climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing. And then obviously when Lyndon Johnson got in, we had the Gulf of Tonkin incident, which, led to a lot of things. And then basically 500,000 troops tooling around Southeast Asia. So, Starling Lee, our boats probably didn't get touched at that point. That's the thing about the Gulf of Tonkin. It probably didn't happen from what we know. I'm not going to say people lied, but it didn't really happen like we thought it was.
So the reason I brought up the Korean War
Yes.
is that the Korean War was technically a police action. War was never declared.
Yes.
We lost 50,000 troops,
Mm-hmm.
right? So constitutionally, at least we have this precedent where the president can involve us in a quote unquote police action where 50,000 US troops die. And, you know, on the back of that, on the back of Vietnam, as you rightly pointed out, Congress passed the War Powers Resolution, which purports to put limits on the president's authority.
Yes.
We can talk about whether it successfully does that, but I wanted to give that kind of historic background before we looked at this.
Yes.
You're going to hear a lot about the War Powers Resolution in coming days. We'll give you the inside scoop.
Yeah. And remember, this is Congress. You know, they're claiming to put a restraint on the president, but they're also giving the president a lot of leash to run on, as least is what they think. And is this even constitutional for Congress to do? Is something that has never been addressed. Can the president, can Congress, restrict him like this? Because Trump is the commander in chief of the military and he can command them to do things. And one of the biggest arguments here is that, well, Trump can go do what he wants and Congress has the authority to say, we'll give you no more funding. The problem is, the military is funded on a year-to-year basis. So if you do it right at the beginning of your fiscal year, you've got a whole year to go run roughshod, technically. Or if Congress wanted to stop him, they could impeach him. But the War Powers Act explained, it's very clear what it does. What is our purpose and policy here? They want to ensure the collective judgment of both Congress and the president will apply to using the military in hostilities or in situations where imminent involvement is clearly indicated and necessary. Now, and Congress is saying it's necessary and proper. And they point out that, we do have these, this clash. We have Congress's power. We have presidential power, as the commander in chief.
Now, I want to point this out because here Congress asserts something here that's very controversial. They say that the president's power to use our forces in hostilities only exists if there is 1, a declaration of war, 2, a statute that allows him to do it, an authorization, or a national emergency created by an attack on its territories, right? I will tell you this right now, just to be as clear as possible. Every single president since this has passed has said that Congress lacks the authority to limit them in this way. This is not a Republican thing. This is not a Democrat thing. Obama was against this. Bush was against this. Every president has said
Bill
this
Clinton
does
was
not
against
apply
this.
to them. Everybody.
Even Jimmy Carter said, I don't have to abide by this. You don't get to tell me what to do.
And the other wrinkle here is the Supreme Court will, dollars to donuts, never rule on this. Because it would if the court tried to limit the president's military power, it would invite a constitutional crisis. So the court has always said this is a political question and it needs to be duked out between the president and Congress. How could Congress enforce this? If they have a veto-proof majority, they could rescind the whole budget for the military. Yes, they do it by the year, but if you had a veto-proof majority, you could work some magic. But until that time, every president has said, this is bullshit. You can't do this. It's unconstitutional. And what is the answer to that question? If you ask somebody and they say, I know for sure, they are not being good faith. The only good faith answer is nobody knows. Nobody knows.
No one knows. This is all theoretical. This is a showdown. I mean, to be fair, a lot of questions before the past 18 months were all theoretical and we never knew. Like this idea of Trump hiring and firing, chairman for commissions and committees. Oh, well, he can't do that. It's like, we hadn't really discussed whether or not you could do that. There wasn't a whole lot of law on it. There's a whole lot here. And the way the War Powers Act, though, does work, the way it's written is where it talks about here that, if there's anything that happens where Numbers of the military who are engaged in combat already in a foreign nation, or if we do anything involving the military, any military action where the military, and it's not for a humanitarian thing. So like when the tsunami hit Indonesia, that's not a War Powers Act guy. Like we're dropping off, food for people who are starving to death. That's not it. It's we're going and blowing things up. We're doing things to people who probably deserve it. This is where it talks about what the president has to do. Within 48 hours, tell the Speaker of the House and the President pro tempore of the Senate a report, and he has to explain, the circumstances for it, the legislative authority under which that took place. And this right here, especially, that's, he justifying it to another branch, I think is ridiculous. But
well, I mean, look,
all these all are, but yeah,
all indications are that he's doing this, and he's going to say, I did it under my commander-in-chief authority.
Yes.
That's,
the estimated scope and duration till we're done. And then other information, they have to provide other information Congress may request. Well, Congress could try to subpoena that. They can demand that, but that's up to them to do. And then there are other parts of this where there are parts where there are consultations. And what happens here is Congress shall consult with Congress. The president shall consult with Congress for introducing the armed forces in the situations where it happens.
And for the record, the indications are that Trump did this.
Yes.
That there were briefings that were high level and very confidential before the strikes, and that there's going to be a follow-up of more information in the days to come.
And, whatever gang of 8, gang of 500, whatever. No, that doesn't matter. Trump could say, I'm picking you and you. One Democrat, one Republican. Here you go. Here's what we're doing. And that's it. That's good enough. That's good enough.
Well, and just... if that sounds weird to you, you do have to keep it small. If you gave it to the entirety of Congress, there would certainly be a leak, right?
Or if you gave it to somebody like Rashida Tlaib.
I was going to say.
We're going to bring this up. Imagine if
Holy shit.
Hold on here. Where is she at? I have that. You sent it to me. I have it somewhere. God, I have too many tabs open. I'm in Kirsha mode right now. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, imagine you give a briefing to this lady. Yeah, Rashida Tlaib.
She wrote, both the U.S. and genocidal Israel doesn't care about the laws. This is who they are. And Sean, I just want to ask a kind of basic grammatical question about this. This is a sitting congresswoman. Who's this they that she's referring to?
I don't know. I mean, notice she didn't say they, parenthesis, which I'd be like, okay, that's clearly Israel. But the context of that, who is they? Who is they, sweetheart? Who are you talking about?
It sounds like she's othering both Israel and the United States, where she is a member of our federal government.
Yeah.
Like who is this they that is not, you're not on their team? Who is this they? Congresswoman, this drives me crazy. Like it's all well and good to have political differences. We have freedom of speech. I delight in the fact that people have bad opinions that I can yell at them for. But at the end of the day, you have to know which team you're on. You have to know which team you're on. You can't say they in reference to your own country as if it's not we. It's we. It's we, Congresswoman. Come on. But yeah, are you going to brief her, Sean? Let's say that you're one of the president's national security advisors.
Yeah.
Are you thinking, hey, we could give the battle plan?
Oh yeah, I totally want her to. I totally want her to have that.
Yeah, she's not going to leak it. Surely not. Surely not. Surely.
Yes. And then on the irony front, you see people like in chat. I don't know if you guys all know who Josiah is, but he's part of Twitch poll. And is like he's out there on the left. He's out there like with Destiny, not sexting women and transporting women, but he's out on the left with Destiny. And I don't know if he's like Hassan left, but he's out there. He's pretty
far left. He's a nice guy. He and I go back and forth on X every once in a while. Whenever I spank Pisco in a debate, Josiah shows up to hold his hand afterwards, which is always fun. So that's that's always must-see TV.
Oh, Malkovich says he got BTFO'd by Rob Knorr. Shout out Rob Knorr.
Shout out Rob Knorr. Hey, by the way, if you're a big fan of Rob Knorr and this wonderful show called Law and Order, one of our running jokes is that one of these weeks we'll have nothing legal to talk about. It turns out that on Monday we're probably going to have some shit to talk about. Yes. So more analysis about Iran on Monday. Law and Order. Check it out.
Well, there you go, guys. Yes, there you go. But like it's funny because the whole political climate, though. I mean, like, this is a bit of a joke, but it's like, well, yes, unknown. That's the thing that was Pakistan. But either way, Rashida Tlaib thinks we're evil anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
but
that's the thing.
Like the video was debunked, but even if let's say the video wasn't debunked.
Yeah.
Why that still doesn't make the US a they. Like, like I can't. I know this is going to sound like a small grammatical thing on some level, but like she is a congresswoman. Yeah. She is part of our government. Could you imagine if the president stood up and was like, man, those Americans are crazy. You'd be like, wait, hold on. What the fuck? Those Americans.
Yeah.
You're the president. Like, this is a congresswoman. She can't refer to Americans as this other group of genocidal maniacs. That's insane.
Yes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You didn't see this?
Where did you find that, Sean?
Well, it's from the Associated Press. But yeah, it's like, I'm surprised there isn't Judge Boasberg saying, no, you got to bring him back to life. You got to give him due process. Like, I'm holding you in contempt right now. I told you to turn the planes around. I told were those F-35s in the air before I gave my orders. You know what I meant.
You have 30 days to overturn his death. Get it done.
You need to facilitate his resurrection. And and this is another video here. This is in Iraq. Somebody was filming as the Tomahawks were hauling ass across his land, and these are going to see those little zoop going by, guys. You'll see the Tomahawk screaming by. Imagine it. Like, people would have probably filed lawsuits against this. And those are just cruise missiles going to do their thing. Yeah. No. Anyways, that's imagine that people would have been filing lawsuits over this. Shinobu says those fly low. That's what they do. They don't fly high. They fly kind of low until their time, and then they really get down low. But yeah, that's what they do. They don't fly high. They are low level of weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. T-LAMs are low altitude, friends. Yes, the Tomahawk land attack missile. Yeah, but I mean, like, you see this though. Like, there's all kinds of, just like the opposition to this stuff, and I still like this meme though. I love this one.
Oh my God,
can you hear the screaming?
God, that's creepy.
Yeah, it's good. Though. It's good. It's good. And I do think this one is correct though. Imagine telling all these people that in 2001 Donald Trump was going to be the one that got rid of The Apprentice, was going to bomb Iran. It's like
they'd be so jealous.
They'd be like, wait, how do we? Let me in your Dick Cheney would be like, let me in your time machine.
Man, yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything is quiet out in the chosen land. On top of it, and then this one here. Oh my God! People are gonna want him primaried now. Like, I saw Pisco tweeting about this.
Of course,
he wants him primaried. It's like, yes, we need him primaried. It's like, I guess when you lose your commie wife handler, you get a little more based.
I love how Fetterman seems to be one of the few Democrats who at least like remembers what America's long-term friends and enemies are. Like
Yes.
he did the same thing with Maduro, where he was like, we had a 25 million bounty on this guy's head. Like clearly we don't like this guy. Like with Iran, like this guy's been our enemy for 40 years. For 40 years, he's been trying to kill our people. He's been trying to, destabilize our interests. This has been a thorn in America's side for 40 years, and we're supposed to, and I guess this is the marching orders. On the left, they're supposed to pretend that he was this wonderful man because they hate Trump so much, and it's like, I appreciate that Fetterman. It's not like he's a Republican. It's not like he's going to vote differently tomorrow, but at least he can be honest about what this is.
We had to do that. I gotta use them while we're talking.
I mean, haters will say that's AI.
Yes.
Haters will say that's AI, but
see, it's Donald Trump. They'll have to fact check it. No, he really did get into a slap fight. So
yeah, I got that before we did the word war debate. They did all these AI videos, and some people would like get on my fucking X and be like, "That's AI," and I'm like,
yes.
Oh no, really? Are you sure?
I know. Yes, Atlantic City does not look that cool.
Yeah. You mean that like me and Pisco cheering on a stage where Pisco's like deeply Arabic for some reason? Because they made him like real Arabic in their promotional materials. Yeah, you think that hasn't happened yet? That's so weird.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay.
Also, since we've been going for a little bit, can I just make a plug?
Sure. Make a plug.
Sean's friends in the chat. How have you not subbed to my channel yet? Like, what's going on here? I feel like you need subs, like Sean's channel first, like the stream, promote the stream, but then sub to my channel. What the fuck are you waiting for? What's taking you so long? Let's get this going.
Yes, chat. If you don't know where you're going here, it's easy enough to show you where you go. It's natural law with Ryan Mullally, because you know what? It's natural. It's organic. It's GMO free.
It's good for you.
Law. It's good law. Yeah.
I've got a picture of Scalia smoking a pipe on my banner.
He's got an eagle.
You're gonna dig the channel. Yes. You're gonna dig the channel.
But yeah, like I said, guys, it's GMO free, gluten free, nitrate free, grass fed law, natural law.
My chat's insane. They keep gifting memberships, so you'll probably get one when you show up. Like it's going to work out well for everybody.
Our Monsanto shill is here. Yes, GMOs are fine. Oh, well, there you go, Mr. Ubercross for 20 subs.
Look at that!
Yeah,
20 subs. Now you've got to subscribe. Now you've got to subscribe just to get one of Mr. Ubercross's bounty. You can be, Mr. Ubercross's sponsored orphan in the chat. It'll be good.
Oh, they haven't subbed because of your loud keyboard.
All right. First of all,
you know what? He's kept it quiet here tonight, Chad. He's getting the hang of this.
First of all, fuck yourself. Second of all, this is for you, Tech Guy South.
Oh yeah, that's some ASMR right there.
That's for you. Enjoy that.
Yes. But no, it's showing how, people, and just the law things related to this. There really isn't other things about this. Like, other than the War Powers Act, there's nothing else.
Oh,
like
Sean,
the idea that this is illegal or anything is ridiculous.
Yeah, we've missed an obvious one. And by the way, I assume anyone in my chat has already subbed to Sean. If you haven't, do it. But I assume you all have because you're good people. Yes. What about international law, Sean? Isn't surely international law? Like, I was told on good authority that if you violate international law, then a orderly bureaucracy shows up and tells you that you should stop doing that. You got to stop violating that international law, and that the U.S. is going to be, they're going to be put at their paces pretty soon.
Well, that's the thing. And I still remember the day I took international law and the professor comes in, he says, international law is anarchy. He's like, that's all I can tell you. He's like, you need to remind yourself of that as your base foundation. He says, because when you're on your final and you're writing things and you're not sure what to write, you're out of things to think of, just say, what happens if the person does it, the country does it anyway? Can you stop them? And he's like, that's international law. Can we avoid a war? And that's about all it's meant to do.
Well, let's start with some international law basics for people who are big international law fans. There is a body called the UN, which is the natural body to enforce international law. Now, there's two parts to the UN. There's the General Assembly and the Security Council.
Well, if we're going to go all the way back, we're going to do the real education. Chat, you need to look to the war, the 30 Years' War and the Peace of Westphalia. And that's where you have to start. That's the foundation of it all. But yes, then we get to the UN. Yes.
Yeah. So the UN, and that, there's arguments that Westphalia was a better system, but that's for another day. The UN has the General Assembly, and that's where every nation that's a member of the UN gets a vote. Now, you might ask yourself, what if all the nations vote against America? What powers does the General Assembly wield that could come after America for its international actions today? And the answer, Sean, is what powers does the General Assembly have?
I mean, they have the power to traffic children and drugs when they go into a place. But other than that, no, they have none, because guess what? Guess who's on the Security Council? And guess who has a permanent veto power?
Ding, 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 ding. Yes, the General Assembly has absolutely no power whatsoever. They just don't. Oh, hold on. Wait, I gotta. Oh, well, do your meme, then I'll do my meme.
Oh, well, that's not really a meme. It's just a thing. There. So I'll leave that one there.
Yeah. So, this is from my mod Zero Fucks earlier. If you want to let me share this.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'm trying to add it to stage. I think you have to.
I can't add it to the stage. I don't think. I think you have to add it.
I'm trying to. First, I got to remove the other one. Okay, that's why. There we go.
So this is the arrest warrant from the UN Security Council that Zero Fucks was posting earlier today.
Oh, wow.
Oh, the arrest warrant. Oh. Now, why is this such a funny joke to do the legal analysis to go with the meme? This is a funny joke because this UN Security Council has permanent members. One of them is the United States.
Yes.
And in the Security Council, you have to have a unanimous vote to do anything, right? You have to have, if every permanent member has veto power. So in order,
and there's five permanent members.
Yep. In order for the UN,
and sorry, we should just list off who they are: America, the United Kingdom, Russia, China, and France. And in 1949, guess what all those countries had in common? They were all nuclear powers.
Mm-hmm. The Security Council,
the only ones.
Everyone needs to understand this. It's not set up to be some sort of like free-floating, rules-based structural thing that holds every country equally accountable. It's set up so that the 5 countries Sean just named get to, by and large, do what they want as long as they aren't fucking with each other directly. That's what it does. So the UN can never act against America. Oh, let me stop screen. Sorry. The UN can never act against, the UN Security Council can never act against America because we would simply veto. It is not possible.
And that's also why you see when there's motions against China or Russia, like every time the Ukrainians go, but Warsaw, Salami Yukowewi, please send the UN to help Ukraine. And Russia goes, no. All right, that's it. That's lunch. And if you guys notice, there's a lot more than 5 seats. Those are rotating members. So that's why you get like Ghana or Burkina Faso or East Timor on the Security Council. And they get to go, well, I think we should put this to a vote. And we go, cool, no.
We veto. Yeah. Yes. And this is why someone asked me this on X earlier, and I was just like, holy shit, like we need to teach people more about the world. They were like, why is if Iran's our enemy and we're acting this way,
it's a participation
council. Yeah. No, but this guy said to me, "Well, next, how to put it?" He's like, "Well, why are we treating Russia and Iran differently?" And I was like, "Because they're completely differently situated countries. Like, one is a nuclear power, one of the 3 greatest powers on Earth, and a permanent member of the Security Council. The other is not. And yes, when you're doing international law and geopolitics, the military and economic and political might of the country you're interacting with influences the way you treat them. Fucking obviously. Like, of course."
Real quick, Cowabunga Joe. In 1992, if Ukraine refused to surrender those nuclear weapons, we probably would have fucking bombed them. And Russia probably, like, we would have done, like, it would have been kind of like a Call of Duty thing, like joint operation. Like, we probably would have attacked Ukraine to destroy those nuclear weapons. Like, we were not allowing anybody to keep them. None of the Soviet satellites were keeping their weapons. Kyrgyzstan, like, they knew better. We would have stopped it. Kazakhstan, they would have been stopped. Like, they were not going to keep their nuclear weapons. So Ukraine wouldn't have been allowed to keep them. And even if they could keep them, like, I don't think people understand, like, in 1992, Ukraine was like Africa broke. Like, they were not in a good spot. So, like, I don't think it would have mattered anyway.
Yeah, and like nukes in unstable countries is not a good thing. I honestly, it is in the interest of, you know, the nuclear powers to stop other countries from becoming nuclear powers. It's not great for nuclear proliferation is
Jack,
not a good thing.
That's actually not correct, because the Russians basically left them. They kind of like were like, fuck, we're not taking them back with us. That's too much work. So they had these nukes sitting there, and Ukraine secured them. Now, Ukraine, you know, they claim they had like the access authorization technically, and that the Ukrainian president could have authorized a release based on like access codes, but I don't know if that was actually true. But no, like the Ukrainian military had control over them. Not a ton of them, but a couple. And yeah, we basically said, like, you're not doing that. And Ukrainians were like, fine.
Yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. Like, Ukraine was not positioned to take care of those weapons at the time.
Yeah,
you know, it would that they were. Maybe that would have helped them with Russia today, but they were not. And as Sean pointed out, at that time, it was in no one's interest to have them keep those weapons.
Yeah, nuclear.
Oh, did I do the Bush thing? Or did you do the Bush?
No, they're making the Simpsons thing where he's like nuclear.
The
submarine. And then I guess Afix. Okay, this sounds actually kind of funny here. Let's see what this is.
This is like a rock war number 2. A rock war number 2.
Oh my God.
God, these memes are getting so good.
AI's getting so good. Imagine that. Like, you can't build a computer right now because of all the memes.
Yeah, it's like if you buy RAM, it costs $1,000 because people are using all the chips to make that.
Yes. That's really what all these storage facilities are for. They're trying to build is just AI getting out of control.
Should we take a second to catch up on super chats and shit? Because I see you have a big backlog of support coming in.
Yeah, I will. 1 second. We do have to get the one meme that I immediately thought of when I woke up this morning, and somebody already beat me to it on the internet. And as a Simpsons fan, this is one we, you know, if you know, you know. And I don't know how good your Simpsons lore is, Ryan, but this is a correct. This takes me back. I remember this as a kid. My dad had to explain it to me.
Look at this Ayatollah T-shirt 9 years ago.
But Marge, it works on any Ayatollah. Ayatollah Nakbada, Ayatollah Zahedi. Even as we speak, Ayatollah Razmara and his cadre of fanatics are consolidating their power.
I don't care who's consolidating their power. Can we get rid of this Ayatollah T-shirt?
But yes, it's a banger. It is a banger. Yes,
that is a banger. That is an absolute banger.
Apparently, there really were Ayatollah asshole shirts back in the day. Which my dad's like, that was a real thing.
We used to be a proper country, Sean.
Yes, we
used to be a
We
proper
did.
country.
The 80s were a time, I'm a Reagaнаut that didn't. I'm like a cowboy born too late.
Yeah.
Stephen Cooper for 10 subs.
Look at that.
That's right, chat. Get a little Clyde.
Now, what kind of emotes are they flexing with those memberships? What
they get access to a bunch of different things. They get the Ryder truck, they get the Killdozer, they get the fertilizer, they get the switchies, they get the Clyde emojis, they get the Laney emojis, the dogs.
I feel like the Clyde emojis is worth the price of admission all by itself.
You get the Ryder truck full of fertilizer. You get the switchy. You also get the sandwich one. You get sandwich memes. You also get the penny one because I'm a penny lawyer, according to Destiny.
Oh, nice.
And you get Vince McMahon because, yes, the chairman, Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
I mean, that's that sounds like a bargain, Sean. That sounds like a bargain.
It does. It's good ones. Yeah.
Oh, Blaster! Thank you so much, buddy. Look at that. There's just an ocean of memberships available for people who sub to the channel.
Yes.
So generous. Thank you, buddy.
Praying the gray away, even on your channel. Praying the gray away.
Look at that. Look at that.
Fallen Hero. Apparently there's a lot of Fallen Heroes. Just think about it. There's like 4,500 of them. It's been a member for 11 months. Thank you. Tia Nena's been here for 23 months. Thank you, Tia. Says, hey, y'all. Radcon Hazard for $2 says, pray for Kaya, chat. Yes. Yes, I'm sure Hassan has not been shocking her at all.
No, he's a nice and generous man. He would never shock a dog.
Mega Mobas for $19.99 says, can we all as combined chat say fuck you to Robert Barnes? The dude is sucking the teat of Thomas Massey and the losers of the anti-MAGA conservative crowd. There's also mercury in the Gatorade, so maybe RFK should look into that.
Look, I first of all, this is a great chat. Well done.
Yes.
B, Massey's one of those guys where if you rolled the dice, I'm going to agree with Massey a lot. Like, he says a lot of stuff I agree with, but you never go full libertarian. You never go full libertarian because there's there's just some stuff he says where I'm just like, come on, man. Really, no. This is where you're at today. Like, today, this is where your head is at. Okay, Thomas, sure.
Yeah, I'm like, if we can, it's an aspirational goal. It's not my state I want to live in.
Yeah,
it's an aspirational goal. It should not be your ascribed state of being.
I am delighted to talk to stand Thomas Massey when we're talking about the debt. Like, I'm well on board. We're talking about cutting federal spending. Oh my God, that dude's my guy. But then it's like, okay, well, America shouldn't be a state and shouldn't have projected power. It's like, no, I'm sorry. Like, that's not how geopolitics works. I'm sorry. It's us or it's them. That is how geopolitics works.
And in response to, are you a hockey guy?
I am an occasional hockey guy.
Oh, okay. I grew up playing hockey as a kid. So like watching Team USA just put it to the Canadians last week. Oh my God. The ring and screaming and we literally have broken the Canadian people. We took their pastime.
You know what we should do? We should win curling next time.
Oh, that'd be the worst. But this is the reason why I want the U.S. to win the World Cup, because we don't like soccer's like the third or fourth sport in our country.
Mm-hmm.
We could win it. And it's funny. There was a Canadian sports guy and he's like, oh, well, let them have their fun because a week from now they won't care about this. And I'm like, that should piss you off even more. We won it. And then we're like, I don't want to play with this toy anymore. Like, we're just like moving on to something else. Like, we're all going to start being degenerate gamblers for March Madness. Like, this was fun. And we dabbed on Canada. We took their national identity, the thing they claimed that like their thing. We won it. And then we're just like, we broke it and moved on.
Yeah.
Like that would infuriate me. Like, that would be like if Britain won the world, like, a British team came in and won the World Series, and like 2 weeks later, they're worried about the Manchester United and Arsenal playing. Like, would be so humiliating.
Well, the timing's so funny because like I actually because I have a lot of friends in Montreal and
this is funny here because the Expos have said due to unforeseen consequences, the Ayatollah Khomeini bobblehead day has been canceled, which is funny. It's a fan account, but you got to imagine, like, if you are that much of an American, like a Canadian, you love the Expos or whatever the hell teams and all that stuff. Like, like the Canadians are like, even Mark Carney's like, we stand with America. It's like, bruh. Like the Canadians are losing their minds right now.
Well, this is the thing, right? That's what I was saying about Montreal. Like, there's this sentiment, at least in Montreal, where they're so mad about Trump and the tariffs and all this that they're like, we're not going to go to America. We're not going to do tourism in America. We're not going to buy American whiskey, blah, blah, blah. Or no, we're not going to buy the bourbon. And then to lose the gold medal at a time like this, right? Really, that's really
elbows up. Okay. Posers.
Then the other thing, by the way, since you talked about Carney, I got into some back and forth with people on X about this, where they were saying like, basically they were saying, oh, this is a really bad idea. This was totally unjustified. They didn't have nukes, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, where's your national security clearance? Like, where's your classified briefing?
I don't think they hadn't. I don't think so. I think their ability had been heavily damaged since the airstrikes last year. I'm sure, like, it had to happen, but like I showed that Scott Jennings thing where he's like, oh, they were gonna attack us. Like, bullshit, they were. Like, just say we did it because we could. And I'll accept that. I won't like it, but I can accept that.
Yeah, it's not that they're going to develop them like next Tuesday. That's not the claim. The claim is that they ultimately would. They eventually would. And like with stuff like this, you kind of have to do it when you can do it. That's another part of the puzzle. Like your intelligence won't be good forever. It'll go stale. But I guess, when Canada signed on and said, we've had some friction with Canada, but they immediately said like, yes, this was a good idea. Like, if you don't trust Trump, and I think your fan base probably does, but a lot of people, especially who watch me, they might have mixed feelings. The fact that Canada, which also gets intelligence briefings, was like, no, this was a good idea. Like, you should understand that, like,
Mark
this isn't
Carney's
like some random.
Actually, we're okay with this, and it's like,
this wasn't some random thing that Orange Man Bad came up with one day just to prove a point. Like, this has been a geopolitical issue for a long time, and everybody who's like in the know politically seems to think this had to be done. If not today, then tomorrow. But today was the day we could do it.
Yes. And, but it's also, I will just say the hockey stuff has been hilarious because, my dad, I talked to him yesterday, and he's like, the last time the Canadians got this mad about hockey is when Wayne Gretzky went to fucking Los Angeles. He's like, when he left Edmonton, he's like, I remember that because my dad played, he played like beer hockey, and he's like, holy shit, people, like, and he worked his job he was in. There was a guy from Canada that played in their group, and that guy was stark raving pissed that Wayne Gretzky left the Edmonton Oilers, and he's like, I don't think they've been that mad since then. And it's like, yeah.
Plus, it was like it had that Miracle on Ice feel, right?
Oh, it did. It did a lot. It did a lot. America's kind of on the on the out. I thought you were about to say Wayne Gretzky, and I'm like, yeah, you could say like when him and you're not a kid, but like like when like the 80s, like they were just dominant. And so probably one of the best teams ever was the Oilers in the 80s. But when you like for Canada, when the last time a Stanley Cup was won by a team from Canada?
Oh no,
30 years ago.
Oh,
we now have teams in Miami and Tampa Bay winning the Stanley Cup.
Now, in fairness, there's a lot of Canadians on those teams.
I understand, but like I can, it's not been the Leafs have not raised that in actually 57 years. And the Habs, oh God, when the last time the Canadians won the Montreal Canadiens, the Habitants, when did they win the Stanley Cup? It's been a long time. So but no, they've just been losing their mind now. PPP coping and seething was hysterical. It was the Canadians. 92, 93, really? Okay, yeah, you're right, because by 94. And then 95 was the Rangers and all that. Yeah.
92, 93 was a while ago.
Yeah.
It was a while ago.
The Patrick Waugh curse. Yes.
I mean, No, we didn't look at that. We looked at the Fifth Circuit decision. Did you look at the Ninth Circuit the case and the district court case where they were doing the TPS decisions?
No, but I saw your thing talking about it where it's
Oh
like,
my!
yeah, we like,
Yeah,
I
98
sent you
was a
that
long
super
time
chat
ago.
where it's like they acknowledge at least that the Sandinistas and fucking Daniel Ortega made fucking Nicaragua really unstable and dangerous. It's like, but yes,
Yeah.
it's like there's always a reason never to go home.
And that's what
Well,
I mean.
it
Like,
sucks. It's like, yeah, most of the world sucks on a good day. Yes, being in Nicaragua would suck most of the time.
and for the Canadians, 92, 93 is so long ago that you didn't have you didn't have temporary protected status
Yes.
from all these countries when they won.
Yes.
Oh, 94 with the Rangers. That was a good
Yes.
one.
Yeah, 90. Yeah, when they played the Canucks, when they had their cooler jerseys that were like the black and the yellow and red. Those were nice.
Yeah, plus like that 90s, it's like, I'm
that
a
was when Mark
tri-state area
Messier was
guy.
on the Rangers, and that really made Canadians mad.
Oh yeah. Plus Mark Messier was like such an iconic Ranger. Like that dude,
Well, yeah,
owned the
but
city.
he was an iconic Edmonton Oiler before that, and that
Oh
was
yes.
like they
But what's he remembered for? What's he
well, it
remembered
depends
for?
what country you're in.
You bring the cup to New York. That's what you're remembered for.
Yeah, well, I well, it depends who you like. Yes, I get it. You're like a New York guy, but like if you go to Canada, Mark Messier is known for being on the Oilers, just like Grant Fuhrer
All
and
right.
other people.
Here's all I'm saying. What's the
Yes.
population of Canada? The whole country?
Oh, it's like oh god, I think it's like actually. Oh, I don't know actually. Canada's population, it's 41 million.
The whole
How
country.
How much of that is men from India?
Okay. So the whole country is 41 million,
Yes.
right? New York
Yes.
City is 8.5.
Yes.
All right. So I'm just saying.
There's always time to fill Canada.
I'm just saying that just New York City is a fifth of their population. So yeah, Messier is remembered for bringing the cup to New York. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what it is.
If you're in New York, yes, but there's, yes, and then he went to Vancouver and ended up having the entire province of BC hating him. Yeah, but that's a thing there. Morally Neutral says, don't need to fire these shots. We're friendly people. Not for you. You have a lot of your compatriots who are not right now.
I'm joking around, but I do actually have a lot of friends and family in Canada. So,
Well, I don't, so I can.
You know what it is? A buddy of mine went to McGill. So I spent
Yes.
like a bunch of time in Montreal
Okay.
up there. And like, holy shit. And this is going to date me because this takes me back so long. But like, Canada's drinking age is 18.
Yes, that was when I was in college too. Like I was in Bowling Green, so like by Toledo, we would go to Windsor to go drink.
Yeah. And also like
Mhm.
back then, I don't know how it is now, but back then, like you could party in Montreal and it was like real cheap for like a college student on a budget. If you could get past the cold, that was a hell of a party town.
Yes. Yeah, well, Windsor was fun because it's basically Detroit, but the signs are in French. Yeah, but at the time it was time you could go drink and it was like amazing.
Oh yeah. Now
back then you didn't need passports either. And you didn't even need the special passport cards. You just had a driver's license and you went.
It was easy. And I visited my buddy, though I made the mistake of doing it once. I went over there for like winter break. So I was in Montreal in January and it was so cold. Like we were going to meet our buddies at a bar and it was like a 15-block walk. And every block you had to stop and go to a bar and have a drink because your eyes would start it was so cold your eyes would start hurting. So you had to get a roadie at every single bar to make it to where you were going.
That's rough. That's rough.
Yeah, tough winter up there.
Oh yeah. Tejas Libre says Iranian state media confirmed the Ayatollah's death. Also, Iran is a unique work week. Saturday is their Monday. Hence all the Iranian government meetings. Well, that's because the whole like Friday is, you go for praise Allah. Yeah, but apparently there were a bunch of them hanging out, and yeah, that's when they got hit. So
I mean,
that's the realistic answer, not because it was Purim and Trump was striking on a blood moon, but I'd like to think it's because it was the blood moon. Thank you. And then Spudgut for £2 sterling. The King Sterling. He says, Zog Daddy, ew. America strong. Yes, thank you. The Duncan Idaho for $10 says the exact same people protesting this wanted the U.S. to go to Russia 5 minutes ago. Yes, they do. They want the 1st Armored Division rolling through Ukraine. They just seem to be funny about the wars they're okay with and have real short memories. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. And that has been probably even funnier is watching all the Ukraine people saying, we could have used those cruise missiles. We're not fighting we're not attacking Russia. Like, sorry.
No, Russia and Iran are not similarly situated powers.
Yes,
like
taking
it is
out
not
Iran
the same
does
thing.
a ton of damage to Russia. Just like fighting Venezuela. We're taking the tankers, we're taking their oil, we're taking revenue. Like, this is going to cripple Russia, easier than fighting them.
Well, and look, like the people who are saying like, what would be the big deal if they got a nuke? Then we couldn't directly attack them the way we don't directly attack Russia.
Mhm.
It is a very big deal who's in that club.
Yes. Jamie Moodley for 14 South African Rand says Cuban leadership must be very worried. I actually bet they are because they're getting, they claim they're all starving to death down there right now. And yeah, we might have a new governor of Cuba known as Marco Rubio soon. And honestly, though, if Cuba did open up, that would be beautiful because apparently I've heard the stories. It's absolutely stunning there. It was Florida before there was Florida. And then Radcon Hazard for $5 has dropped an appropriate song for tonight in the music channel of the Discord. Yes, thank you, Radcon. We did look at that. Then Shredder S07, been here for 20 months, says this is the net win for humanity. True. Torgo the White for 28 months says violence dances to its own tune. That is poetry right there.
It
I don't
really
know if that's a poem, but it is. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate it. EDW Raptor for $5 says, Ryan, you are great at setting goals for Sean. What do you have for us tonight?
I feel like, Sean, I've made some promises that you've had to fulfill in the past.
Yes.
Didn't I force you into playing Factoro or some other autist-friendly game?
I did.
How'd that go?
It was okay. I'm like, it didn't make sense though, because you're using pretty much green energy, like steam energy, and you still got attacked for it. And I'm like, but why would the monsters attack me? Because it's not pollution. But
okay,
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah.
And last time we freebirded, and that went extraordinarily well.
Yes.
So it sounds like what ED Raptor wants to know is, Sean, what will you do for money tonight? Sean, what will you do for money tonight?
I don't know. What won't I do for money?
I mean, if you guys were going to oil Sean, if you guys were going to like spend some money to make Sean do something, I think that's what we need is some ideas. We need some brainstorm. We need to know what the people want to see. And I'll talk Sean into it. Like I'm here to ruin Sean's week with promises that he made during a collab stream.
Yes.
That's my role. So, come up with some bad ideas and let us know. Send in some super chats. Let Sean know what bad ideas you have for him, and I'll be the devil on his shoulder who tries to talk him into it.
Yes, and Stephen Cooper for $5 says, yes, leave out your muscle relaxers for Larry Phillips and Emil Matasuranu. Yes, the patron saints of banging it out with the police. Also known as today is the anniversary of the North Hollywood shootout, 39 years ago. Actually, is it 39?
Oh my God.
29. I'm sorry, 29 years ago.
Hold on. Can you pull up this idea from Cacophons?
Okay, is this right here? Oh, it's in chat here.
It's in chat.
Did I just miss? Yeah, here we go.
If he reaches a set goal, he has to do a glazing Justice Jackson and the Ninth Circuit stream. Sean, what level of donations or memberships would you need to spend 2 hours of one of your evenings unironically glazing Justice Jackson and the wisdom of the Ninth Circuit?
Oh God, that's gonna be tough.
I feel like that actually would cause you some physical pain. So
You know what? I'll be generous tonight because I want you guys to have fun. 50 subs, chat.
all right,
And we'll just do that. And I'll say it's all right. Pisco will have a stroke hearing me say all this, but yes, it'll be great.
For the low price of 50 subs, you can out of context clip Sean talking about how much he appreciates Justice Jackson's jurisprudence.
Yes.
Just think of the memes.
Yes. But Stephen Cooper, yes, leave some muscle relaxers out for Larry and Emil. Yes. 29 years ago today, the North Hollywood shootout happened.
And 10 came in already.
Yes, I'm sure.
60 have come in already.
Joe Schmo for 50 subs. Woo!
Oh.
Just praying the gray away tonight, chat. Making America green again. That's what we're doing here. And, Ryan, I'm not going to have you on screen for this one, but this is another clip for the Greens.
See this? That means not welcome.
That's right, chat. It's greenish, not welcome if you're gray. Even though I'm gray on top, it's green on the bottom. Just
Sean, you've got to tell me when the Justice Jackson glazing stream
you can hang out here and you can tell me I'm wrong, and I will kamikaze into your arguments. So.
Oh my God, if you want to include me in this, Sean, I would be delighted to point out some of her greatest gems and to have you comment on how brilliant
we're going to have a debate. And I'm going to kamikaze. It's going to be a one-way ticket, man. I ain't walking out of this one. So don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Well done, chat. Well done. You got him. You got him.
Reformed convict for 27 months. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Says, I don't know if I lived in the desert, I'd be an angry radical too. That's the thing, though. Iran is actually very nice. It's actually when it's not in a drought state, which it's been for probably the past 6-7 years. Mm-hmm. Iran's a very luscious and agriculturally sufficient country.
Oh, and for the record, if for those of you who don't know, the food is fucking phenomenal. Persian food is dope as fuck.
Yes, it is.
It's really good. So it's a wonderful culture. It's a shitty leader, but now he's dead.
Yes, and I still don't know. Are you KY Sleater, like Kentucky, like KY, or are you kill yourself leader? I'm not sure.
Or is is he KY Slider?
Yeah, KY Slider or kill yourself leader. Either way. So new member, thank you. Brandon, the anime guy, says, Iran has been our problem all my life. Literally, I am glad we have done this. Total decimation. You are right. You cannot trust any form of shit lib. Well,
except for Justice Jackson, who Sean loves.
Well, yeah, she is. She's our queen, chat. I'll have to get instead of the Trump cutout, I'll have to get a Ketanji cutout. I'll do that for the stream. Oh my God.
Sean, when you eventually do this, will people in chat please clip it and send me the clips? Because I need content for my channel.
I need you here.
Okay, yeah.
I'm going to take you on. I'm going to fucking crush you. I'll do what Pisco couldn't.
The great debate of our time.
Yes. T-Rex Travels. How you doing, man? Says, I heard Iran shut down the Strait of Hormuz. They did. And the EU kind of just said, okay. Yeah, but, it's not going to be shut down very long if it was at all still. And the internet shut down. That's why we're not seeing tons of stuff out of Iran. Jamie Moodley again for another 14 South African Rand says, make Constantinople Greek again. I don't disagree with that. It should never fall into the Turks. T-Rex Travels saying for $4.99. The question is, does the 60 days for the War Powers resolution start from the bombing of the nuclear facilities or start from the bombing yesterday? That's actually not an answer that's ever been made clear. We don't know.
I mean, in theory, each should have had their own notification. I don't know whether the first one had a War Powers resolution notification or not. So that would be the question to research, is whether or not
but
they
even
were
if they
notified
did,
separately.
technically that answer's never been resolved. I would say no, they're separate incidents, but maybe I don't know. Like, obviously, in the court's not going to rule on that. But like, let's say they did, I don't know which way they would go. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Once again, as Ryan said, if anybody tells you they know the answer, they're full of shit.
It's absolute horseshit when they say like, there's no way this is authorized. Nobody knows. This is the grayest of the gray areas in U.S. constitutional law. No one knows the answer to this question.
Yes. T-Rex Travel says, couldn't Congress technically threaten or not pass a defense bill? Wouldn't that disband the standing armed forces? Yeah, it's the power of the purse. Or they could threaten to impeach. They could do a lot of different things. They can hold hearings. They can do all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
If they have sufficient political will, there's all kinds of stuff they could do. But they don't.
Yeah, it's all about the political will. Brandon the Enemy Guy is a new member. Thank you for re-upping.
Also, nice Helsing logo there.
Yes.
Good shit.
Yes. We already answered that one. Mr. Ubercross again for 5 more subs.
Mr. Ubercross bringing in the heat. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you.
Blasterbot says, I'm actually pay for the clickety clack. It's very soothing.
Yeah, that's ASMR. Sophisticated connoisseurs of my channel understand that me not replacing this keyboard is an act of defiance, and they appreciate it. Could I buy a softer keyboard? Obviously.
Well, actually, no. Blasterbot, it makes this makes his tism go burr. So it's actually soothing for him. It soothes the ring. EDW Raptor for 5 subs.
Oh man. Well, Edie, I hope I gave you a good goal for Sean. You asked for one, I tried.
Afton for 5 subs.
Look at those.
You guys going to show Ryan some love.
Memberships are just fucking falling out of the trees.
Yes. T-Rex Travel says international law says whoever has the bigger, strong, better armed army wins. Yeah.
Actually, Sean, if you could pull up my screen for a second. Noted internet lawyer Gene Parmesan. Oh, this is the wrong one. Let me pull it back down. That's another good one. But I wanted to do Gene Parmesan.
Yes. But yes, that really is the case. The strong do as they wish. The weak do as they must. That's international law.
Yeah. Gene Parmesan, if you could pull this up, begs to differ. Noted internet attorney Gene Parmesan points out that you're wrong. That's not what international law is. At the end of the day, all U.S. presidents have to follow international law, and international law says you cannot attack a Muslim country unless they attack you first. It's right there in the Geneva the Geneva correction. Trump is finished. It's over.
Yes.
If you don't follow Gene Parmesan on X, you are missing out. This is a delightful account.
Also, what does he say down below? Rep the set. Rep the set.
Yeah, it's a delightful account. And one of my favorite things is he says all kinds of crazy nonsense.
Yes.
Lawyer here under the Geneva Convention.
He's the 3-year Letterman guy, basically.
Yeah. Religious leaders are protected persons. The supreme leader is an ayatollah. Trump just committed a war crime and doesn't even know it yet. He's fucked, all caps.
Yes.
And because he starts with lawyer here, a lot of people respond to him as if this was a real account giving serious legal analysis.
That's how you make money.
It is
like that.
But his name is G. Like, I don't know if there's people don't focus know Arrested Development.
They don't focus on the name.
Oh, delightful account.
The line between trolling and stupidity in 2026 is like it's just blurred.
I know it's tough. It's tough to tell the trolls, but that one, come on.
Yes. Linda Richard for $2 says, "I think I'll watch Not Without My Daughter again." Well, there you go. The good Sally Field, getting away from her husband in Iran. Cowabunga Joe says Ukraine should give them their nukes. Yeah, we got that one. Taylor says people really don't get how much upkeep nuclear weapons need. The former Eastern Bloc was the Wild West. The nuke would have ended up across the Black Sea. Yeah, or they would have just rotted away. Who knows? Armand is a new member over on Ryan.
What a lovely picture.
Yes. EDW Raptor for $5 says Canada has zero SEC championships and 0 Super Bowls. That is so correct.
It's like they're not even trying.
Suffolk, Canada. Liam Kahn for 5 loonies or 2.5 toonies. Thank you for being here, Liam. I think you're a new face here. Says, people keep telling my home. People keep felting my home. This place is full of the biggest cry bullies on the planet. I am so sorry, man. But yeah, it's got to be rough up there.
Yeah. You got so close. And I will say, I do think Trump kind of fucked y'all because Poilievre was going to win. And then Trump started doing the tariffs. And, he absolutely nuked from orbit Canada's Conservative Party, which I'm not sure that I don't think that really played out in a great way.
This will make him stronger at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Stephen Cooper says, I miss the Avalanche Red Wings rivalry. Yeah, that'd be a fun one. Those are some good ones back in the day. Those are some good ones. Chappingro is gifting 1 sub.
The mod with the most is always showing support. Thank you, buddy.
Armand for 15 months. Thank you for being here, man. It says a cooking stream. Let's go. We'd be cooking up some ammonium nitrate if we were doing that.
Yeah.
I'd be cooking up some ANFO. How about that, buddy? We're not cooking real food.
The Anarchist Cookbook stream.
No, use the Special Forces Improvised Munitions Manual. That's actually the good one. The Anarchist Cookbook is like kind of sketch.
Little Fed posty.
Well, no, it's just like some of it doesn't work and like some of it probably would kill you. So, but EDW Raptor for 10 subs. Joe Schmo again off the top rope for 50. The Amateur Iconoclast for 1 sub. Johan for 10 subs.
Look at the support tonight. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Almond Brown, member for 22 months, says, woo! Yes, look, Ric Flair. Cheesy Terry for $5 says, the drought natural? Are we or anyone else cloud sitting around Iran? They've had some water management issues, and that's kind of what led to it. And then Felzu, who's been a member for 7 months, says, make Persia great again. Yeah. And yeah, the water thing is probably a combination of government mismanagement and inshallah. The will of Allah can be a problem there. So
yeah.
Also, what was that Constantine Kiskin thing? Was that?
Oh yeah. Let me throw this up there
because him and Destiny went at it apparently.
Oh, well, did that debate already happen?
I guess.
I heard it was happening. I haven't been following along. Yeah, I like this. It's the third time World War III has broken out in a year, and as many smart people have predicted, we're all going to die, like the last 2 times. It's been a pleasure knowing you all, and I hope to see you in the afterlife, or just back here tomorrow reading the same panic slop. I love this because everybody seems to think anytime we do anything is World War III, and this was a perfect post for me. Oh my God, 0 fucks.
Oh my God. It's you're missing some zeros because like I like if like of a lot of things I could say or do, the Supreme Court of Ohio is probably going to let a lot of it slide. But if I show up on blackface, I may be sitting on the bench for 6 months to a year.
You got to replace his lawyer income for that. And for the record, if you think I'm going to show up on that stream, we have not come close to making me participate in that
thing.
Shit.
Like, I don't think you guys understand there's a lot of things I'm willing to do as an attorney, but I will never risk my ticket. And, the amount of money it would cost for me to risk my ticket would be like, I'd have to win the Powerball. And it would have to be like one of those Powerballs where even after taxes, I've got like enough money to buy like, I could buy like an F-35 with. Like it's not cheap. So
yeah. But I appreciate the creativity in trying to ruin Sean's life, 0 fucks. I mean, that's
thank you. Yes. Constantine's one of the few sane liberals out there. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the thing about Constantine is that he's actually like a classic liberal.
Yeah.
And like people use liberal to mean like kind of like anyone who leans left. And like the actual root, like a classic liberal has almost nothing to do with the modern day left wing. It's a totally different thing.
Yes. Diddle News says, I remember you being drunk with Nikita where you screamed nipper. Yes. I did. Yes. I said, I said the word because it's a word and we were talking about that, but yes. Torga the White says, Trump is going to make the world safe for Democrats to take complete control in 2026 and 2028. The Republicans will get smoked over this. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, we are a lot of months away from an election.
Yeah.
Think about Maduro. That seems like that was a lifetime ago. It was less than 60 days ago Maduro was unprecedented. So just, Alex Preddy and Renee Good, assuming the status of good communism. That was less than a month ago. Think about it. There's a lot of baseball to play, man. There's a lot of baseball to play still.
Yeah, and I think that not for the midterms in 20, that's close, but in 28,
still,
a lot of what's going to happen is how did all this stuff play out? It's early. Like, how did the Maduro thing play out? We'll see how it goes. But I think you've got to be optimistic and you've got to root for your team, right? Like, you've got to think there's a plan here and it's going to be in our interest, and imagine being so hooked on politics that you're hoping that Trump fails because it's good for your political party. Gross.
Yeah. And Spud Gun for £2 sterling, the King Sterling, says, no, he's not. He's still home for me, not for thee. Not sure who you're saying in relationship to there, but Konstantin Kiskin. Oh, okay, yeah, he's probably saying there. So, yes, that's a thing. They all want to imprison Trump and his entire cabinet. They also want to have the right to keep. They also want to have to keep the right out of power, pack the court, new laws about insurrection, etc. Oh yeah, they do. And if they get their chance, they are going to go buck wild and run through the streets with their hair on fire.
The pack the court thing, by the way, that's the kind of thing, because that I voted.
They would
left.
put a bunch of Ketanji Brown Jacksons on.
Well, that's the thing. I voted left not that long ago, but even if I was on the fence now, and I'm not, but even if I was, that would be a death knell for me, because the kind of justice they want to appoint, just like the Supreme Court, is really defending our democracy and our republic right now. They are a functioning branch of government. They're doing great. And the thing about the left that pisses me off so much at this exact moment is when Barrett and Roberts and Gorsuch nuked Trump's tariffs from orbit. Did that change the mind of any of these people who have been saying we need to pack the court? Did any of them go, oh, it turns out these guys will side against Trump? They're not toadies.
Yeah,
they have independent judgment. Maybe it would be crazy for us to pack the court and ruin America.
They're still a scorpion.
No, they don't care. They don't care when the court shows that it has independent judgment. They just want to do it for power. It's fucked up.
And the only way they would, at this point, they won't accept it. There's nothing, it's very much it's the mindset of there's nothing you're gonna do that's gonna please these people. They will never. This is kind of like the whole Connor thing. Like when I see Connor over all the time, you're never. They're and I don't I've mentioned when he's kind of quit being on Twitter. At least I haven't run into him lately. It's have you seen Gran Torino?
Yeah.
You know how that one part where there's the black guys harassing the girl and there's the white guy with them. And he's like, they're not your fucking friend. Get lost. It's they're not your friend. There's nothing you could do to convince them that you're an okay guy. There's nothing I'm ever going to be able to do to convince them that I'm cool unless I fully buy into everything they want. That's the only way.
It's a demand list. If you remember when I did that conversation with Not So Erudite, where it was if I wasn't willing to say to her that we would have been better off with President Kamala Harris than we are with President Trump, then there was no way to have a conversation. right?
Yeah,
That was the struggle.
It's not even that. It's you have to buy into everything, and I was wrong on everything. It's
that's what I mean. Like there has to be like a mea culpa, you're right, I'm wrong sort of thing. And some of this stuff, some of their demands, and I'm going to focus on packing the court because that's the one that really gets me. Packing the court it's like the world's worst idea. Like imagine the Democrats pack the court, they put 3 justices on. When the Republicans next win, how many justices are they going to have to add? At least 6, right? And then what about when the Democrats win? At least 12, right?
Then we end up with like the Supreme Court of India or some nonsense.
Yeah, you end up with a Supreme Court that has fucking 580 members and everybody knows it's all bullshit. Everybody knows the law is fucking make-believe, and it will be make-believe because you ruined it. You ruined the American experiment. It's that bad an idea. Like it's the death knell of the republic type idea.
Yes, and the thing is, they've had such a normalization bias of being in relative control of the levers of power for so long that like when they finally don't have that lever anymore, it's the end of their fucking world.
Well,
like this is the most conservative court in a long time, if maybe in 125 years.
Yeah, it's a historically great court. And I think that the other thing, I think they're freaking out about that. And the other thing they're freaking out about, and I told this to Lactoid, who is a originalist lawyer and a good guy the other day. President Trump is the first president I've seen who not only creates a temporary pause on progressivism, he's actually rolling back some of it. Previously, when you had Republican presidents like a Bush or whatever, they would pause it, but they wouldn't roll it back. He's actually rolling
or they'd
back.
even do some of it still.
Yeah.
Because we have to be respectable and, we have to reach across the aisle. And it's like, well, when are they ever going to reach across the aisle? Well, that's just how we do things. And you had these Mitt Romneys and these Bob Doles and these John McCain sellout types, the country club Republicans. Well, and Trump's it's like the immigration thing. Like, we're going to pathways to citizenship, and we're going to come to an agreement with our gang of 800 or whatever. Where are we going to secure the border? I will worry about that later. Trump's like, no, we'll do that now. And everybody lose their mind. It's like, that's always been part of the game, I thought.
I don't think people realize how close we got. Like under Biden, there was a moment where we were, in COVID, we were giving out money on the basis of race, expressly giving out money on the basis of race. The SEC was pushing a rule that if you wanted a company to list on NASDAQ, they had to have a DEI quota for their board membership. We were on the verge. They went to the Supreme Court to defend affirmative action, right? Like we were on the verge of pushing into federal practice the idea that you can have certain racial preferences under law, right? And
schools were full tilt already doing it.
Oh, yeah.
They were operating like it's no big deal.
Oh, it was very.
And when they were confronted, they'd say, "What's wrong, buddy? We've been doing this for decades."
Yeah, it was very common for businesses to have these kind of programs that were only available to certain demographics, right? When they were in their hiring, etc., and to be open about it. And President Trump pushed all that back, and correctly so. Like these were bad ideas that needed to be rolled back, and it wasn't good enough just to pause them. You had to actually roll them back. Man, the internet, man.
Yes.
Well, but Gene Parmesan says that's violates international law.
Yes, it is.
So I think President Trump's fucked.
Yeah, like farmers who weren't white weren't getting subsidies. Like it was like everything was. Yeah, we were like, and immigration was literally just if you showed up, and we had like those. The picture of the forklift pulling up the barbed wire for people to stream under.
Yeah,
these migrant caravans. Notice how those kind of quit. What happened?
All gone.
Yeah.
No, there's and I mean, this is, more the philosophy bro side of my channel, but I spend a lot of time on my channel talking about what American philosophy is. And progressivism is an attempt to replace American philosophy with something else. And this is why, by the way, a lot of people are starting to get hesitant about calling America a propositional nation because the proposition's being eroded and they don't trust it anymore. And that's the direct result of the progressives taking over the educational system and pushing this kind of vague idea, for example, that we should feel bad about enforcing a border, or we should feel bad about using our military to project our strength and protect our interests, because we should, shouldn't we take the Ayatollah's perspective into account? And it's like, no, not really. Like, we do not need to pretend that we value the interests of the globe equally to American interests. We just don't. And but that's a progressive notion. That's some kind of broken utilitarian calculus that gets pushed on people because it's an insane idea.
Yeah, and well, the other thing is too, and I think I was listening to your stream one time, and I commented, it's hilarious because yes, America was a melting pot, but it was initially a pan-European thing. Like all these, all the ethnic groups in Europe, the Belgians, the Walloons, the Welsh, the Scots, the English, the Irish, in France, the Huguenots, in Spain, Castilians, all, people from Asturias or Leon, or, wherever you came from in Italy, in the north or the south, all your garbage in the Balkans or in Poland, or if you were Prussian or, Bavarian or whatever it was, or Swede or Norwegian or Finnish. Yeah, we were a melting pot of that, and they all came here and coalesced at some point over time. But that was, yes, it the idea that this is just that was the melting pot. Like everybody kind of coalesced. Like the idea of being white is an American thing because you didn't identify as really a German or a Dutchman or an Englishman. You were you're just an American and your family came over.
But also there was an American creed underneath it, right? When we talk about assimilation, what do we mean? We mean that there's already a fundamental American ethos, right? And you can come over and maybe you're Sicilian or my family's Irish and you have your own way of doing things, but you want to adopt the American ethos. That's
not
why
just
you're
a passport.
Here. No. And as we move towards multiculturalism and we started saying, fuck the American dream, fuck America, this kind of anti-American sentiment that comes out of the universities, now we're like, well, why would anybody want to adopt the American ethos? Because America's uniquely evil. It's a uniquely bad country, right?
Yeah.
That's what people teach our kids in universities across the country now. And that doesn't work. You can't assimilate people if you're not asking them to adopt your culture, your ethos. That's how assimilation works, right? Without that, what are they assimilating to? Even in theory, how could it work, right?
Yeah.
So an attack on that ethos, on that creed, is an attack on the American project. It doesn't even make sense. How could I assimilate someone if you're going to tell them that America's philosophy and its ethos is bad? Why would they adopt ours if theirs is so much better? But if theirs is so much better, why the fuck are they coming here? Just for the money? And why do we want people here just for the money? None of it makes any sense if you take that away.
No, I agree. What Ryan is saying, Sean, is that America is like bananas and rice.
Yes. America is that. You know what? I don't know why I went on my soapbox so long. I could have simplified.
That's
Sean,
okay.
America is like bananas and rice.
Been there, done that, says for 22 months. You already do gray face. What's a few more shades? Oh, thank you.
Yeah, he's trying to get you with the slippery slope argument there.
I know. EDW Raptor says, is there anything left to Jimmy Carter's legacy? The USS Jimmy Carter, yes. And that's ironically the submarine we used to go do all the sneaky stuff with.
He probably loved that. Yeah.
Well, Jimmy Carter was a submarine officer, and he that's actually, it was in honor of what he did for the submarine community.
Oh, I didn't know that. He was a submarine officer?
Yeah, and the Jimmy Carter is a Seawolf class submarine that's it's been elongated. It's got a diving pool in it. So it's if we go tap fiber optic cables and do all the, crazy, secret agent man stuff. That's what goes out there.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. They tap like Soviet phone lines and stuff during like that were underwater and things like that. That Bella's been a member for 26 months. Thank you, Bella, for being here. It says, remember Bill Buckley, forget Iran and their allies. Yeah, well, yep. There's a lot to remember out there. That Fatty Caddy for $2, and we'll end on this. Whites only is an incredible policy. Well, okay, I guess we're not ending on. We'll have to go here for a second. We're not ending on that note.
Aren't you glad you read that one last, Sean?
Yes. Was it? Yes, Carter was a nuclear reactor officer. Yes. Yes, secret Asian man. That's not what I said.
Your chat is really invested. I guess my chat too is invested in your cancellation. They really seem to feel like they're just trying to figure out what they have to give you to get you to cancel yourself.
Fatty Cat says, sorry, I tell the truth, bitch. What did I miss? What did I miss here? I missed something. Oh, I guess I can't see it. Can we get Panama back for his legacy? There's actually a lot going on there. There's a massive legal battle over the Panama Canal right now. But yeah, that's why like BlackRock is taking control over it. Because now China doesn't have control over it. And these Chinese shipping companies and port management companies won't have control over the Panama Canal. Now, yes, we should just take it back, but I'm not in charge of that department. So
yeah, though there's always kind of like the sneaky taking it back, right? Where it's like you don't take it back, but if American companies end up controlling it, until they get expropriated again, because that seems to be the pattern in South America, is that eventually the expropriation comes.
Yes. So EDW Raptor says we're trying to make sure Sean doesn't get any more subscribers. We can't let him get to 28K. I'm like, we just crossed 27 and we're finally like safely over the line. So, I'm happy with that number for now. Took forever.
I think they're worried, Sean, that if you ever hit 69,000 subs, the prophecy would be fulfilled.
Yeah,
the dark days would be upon us.
And then we'll end here. Crazy King Manilau says, for $5, thank you for being here. I've watched you two from Layback Law. I'd rather watch you guys in local news at work. Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
And Layback Law is a great show. Like that's fun.
It is a great show, but I appreciate you feel that way. You think we're the best part of it.
Yeah. and it's also nice to, this was oftentimes we come in and we're reading an opinion or we're on Layback Law and we're doing analysis. It was nice to fuck around a little more this time.
Yes. And that's because, even when we're here, we haven't done that. But Captain Chromo says, what consequences will China face for assisting Iran? Well, they're going to lose all their oil supply. So they're going to have a lot of problems here. Like, China's not going to suffer, but, like, now they're left with having to deal with Russia. So, like, we're now locking them into with each other, which, they can have fun with that.
And also, this is an important comment. This is the consequence, right? Like, if you think about, kind of like Cold War style geopolitics, which is kind of what we're heading into, the great powers are moving around their proxies on the chessboard. Venezuela was a proxy. Iran is a regional power, but is a proxy for great powers, right? So when we make moves against Venezuela and against Iran, those are our counter moves, right? What are the consequences they're facing?
Yes.
The consequences are they don't get to fuck us anymore.
Yes. Your super chat was better. Well, you're gay. Thank you. I know. It's a question I ask myself all the time. I really do.
You are gay. LMAO.
God, that is perfect. The sync on that is perfect.
Yes. Yeah. No, it's yeah. I find them when I find them, and there's some good ones out there. China's already suffering. Yeah, China's had a lot of problems. They can't make a coal-fired car. So,
well, and the thing about China is we never actually know exactly how. Because the truth is, like, as a government, they just lie about. Like, remember when they said they had no COVID?
Yeah.
They just flat out said, like, we have no COVID cases for like a year.
Yes.
Like they make shit up, and we don't always know how things are. Like like people are always showing like these amazing cities.
Yeah.
But like, was Hassan allowed to go wherever he wanted in China, or was he only?
Well, no, he got
allowed to
hassled
go
by
to
the Chinese police, and when they came up to him, he's like, "Yes, boss."
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, that was so funny watching him act like all housebroken.
But like that's how a communist dictatorship style
Yeah.
government works, right? Like
Mhm.
the thing that they're focused on, they focus all the governmental resources, build the beautiful city. And then you go there and it's beautiful.
Yes.
And you say,
the
"Oh,
Potemkin village."
yeah, can I peek behind the curtain and see how regular people live?" And they're like, "Oh, no, 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 no. We wouldn't want you to
Yes.
see the slave labor camps. That's where we keep the Uyghurs." You know, like it.
Well, Hassan says that's all fake.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
They're
They're actually eating chicken tendies and having a great time. They actually
I guess I
watch
should
Hassan.
take his word for it.
Yeah.
Hassan, that gentleman and scholar Hassan.
He is. You can't trust a Turk. Who can you trust? Welcome to the souk.
If you can't trust a Turk who stands for communists, you know.
Yes.
God, he said this thing where he was like, Gucci vibes and communism, that's my aesthetic, or something along those lines. I was like, you are
Yes, it is.
You are the worst
$200,000
human.
electric Porsche.
But like, it's like he somehow took all the worst parts of capitalism and all the worst parts of communism and just fused them together and made that his personality.
Yes.
It's unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. No, he's the political thought leader of our time. And then EDW Raptor for $5 says, if the normies start following Sean, it won't be cool anymore. Well, I didn't know it was cool, but I appreciate knowing that.
Well, that's what you guys got to get him to the blackface stream to stop him from getting too popular.
We'll let you get to 28K when you fulfill the 27K 27-hour commitment, and we get our 5K gift. You're talking to the wrong guy. That's a different department, chat.
I mean, 27-hour live stream. That seems.
Yeah, well, that's not me, and then the 5K gift is somebody else. I'm not in charge of the 5K gift. You're the wrong LawTube streamer.
Are you supposed to do that? Like you're supposed to stream 27-hour and then give 5K to somebody?
No. The 5K. Okay, so the 5K. No, the 5K gift is Nick Rekieta when he was like right when he was about cresting the hill.
Mm-hmm.
He used locals, which is like Patreon, and he had 5,000 subscribers on Patreon paying.
That's crazy.
And he was like, I'm gonna do a gift, and he kept promising and that was like 2023, and people fucking bust his balls about like, when's the 5K gift coming, and he keeps on saying like, oh, it's coming, and you know that's the meme for that.
I mean, that's like the classic internet tactic now. You know, like people have taken that, like even on X, you'll see people do that. They'll be like, you know, the 1,000th person who likes this post, I'm going to give them $100. And it's like, I wouldn't hold your breath.
Yeah, but that one actually, people were like, people fucking hound them about the 5K gift.
That's still a thing.
Yeah, they still hound them for it. Oh yeah, yeah. It's a major A-logging tactic for people with Nick. Super Iron Bob for $6.90. Nice. When Sean hits 69K, it'll finally be time. Well, I mean, if that's it, when I get 69,420 subs, and I'm like, I look at you all and say, it's time, chat. I'll see you out on the streets. Yeah.
That's...
Have I tried the ranch shake? No, when I'm not driving the Sandusky to go try the ranch shake.
Wait,
there's a indoor water park in Sandusky, from Tommy Boy fame, like 2 hours away, and they have like this ranch milkshake you can try.
God, that sounds vile.
It's 100% fucking Northeast. Like that's like out where I grew up. It's like God's country, and I'm like, these are my fucking people. But
like, look, man, there's some.
I'm not gonna try it, but
I mean, there's some stuff that's just not gonna be good. Like, all right, like down on the Jersey Shore, they've got this thing called cheese balls, right?
Yes.
And what a cheese ball is they just take Cheese Whiz and then they deep fry it like a mozzarella stick, right? So it's like cheese.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Mozzarella is better than Cheese Whiz. So a cheese ball is just a shitty mozzarella stick. And regional pride doesn't change that fact. A ranch milkshake, you can have all kinds of pride in it. It's just going to be a milkshake that tastes like ranch, Sean. It's just going to be a shitty milkshake.
That sounds fucking awful, though. JetX Mega says, you live near me. No, I actually live over in Lake County, way on the other side of Cleveland, but I grew up probably about 45 minutes away from Sandusky. So P-Dub said, no flash if I get over 50 subs. Well, that was not the same thing. That's a different thing, chat. So no. That was for a different goal. I'm gonna dark side fill that. Technically, it was a different goal.
Yeah. Oh, so sorry. Disco fries are awesome.
What are disco fries?
So disco fries are fries with gravy. Now, this obviously this depends on
Sounds
the
like poutine.
It does, and poutine is awesome. It's all the quality of the fries and the quality of the gravy matters a great deal. But if you have good gravy, fries and gravy is a fucking winning combination.
Oh, so it's just fries and gravy, no cheese.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So it's just poutine without the cheese curds on. Okay.
Now,
Raiden's mama says hello from Mentor. God,
Nice.
You're like right around the block from me. Hello.
We were speaking of Montreal earlier. I did my bachelor party in Montreal, and when we were eating hangover food, there's a spot in Montreal. It's a barbecue spot, and they make burnt end poutine. So you get poutine with the fucking barbecue burnt ends in there, like from the brisket. Holy shit! Like it takes about 5 years off your life.
That sounds good,
but it is worth it.
That sounds good.
And honestly, the 5 years are at the end. It's a shitty 5 years. You don't want those 5 years. Like,
yes,
it's worth it.
Pete Up says, I've been reading The Art of the Beg. You're damn right. I've been learning. I've been watching Sensei Phil and how he does it. Ivy, the EB says, disco fries, face palm.
Is that like a Jersey thing? I feel like disco fries
I don't know,
is like
but
in the Northeast.
That's better than a garbage plate, which is like a Rochester, New York thing. You ever heard of those?
Yeah.
They sound they're disgusting.
Everyone's got their regional shit. Like I got I don't know if you got any English people in your audience, but like the English breakfast doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, it doesn't.
Like there's just some stuff on there where you're like wait, there's just like a mushroom. Like like
Stabby, when he says fries and gravy, it's not like sausage gravy.
That I bet that is fucking great.
Yeah, that would be good, but that's not what
I will say. I did that the other day, like for the, we are not a Southern family, but I got my wife to make biscuits and I made sausage gravy just to be like, we should be doing this more often. Fucking devilishly good. Yeah. Biscuits and gravy is just a winner.
Yes, Fatty Cat, you're right. One tip, one bit, one super chat. Let's go, guys. Let's get some support. I need that money. I really, really do. I need that money.
I mean, you don't
know who Phil is, and if you did, you would be laughing at those, but I can't. I don't want to show them to you because it'll ruin your life.
I mean, maybe I don't need that kind of pain.
Yes. Living in Stug's walls temporarily. Like the walls of like a Stug tank, like a Stug 3, like one of these.
I mean, I have questions.
Somebody else.
I have questions about living. I'm going to call him living in walls because when I first met him, he was living in Dev's walls temporarily, and now he's in Stug's walls.
Well, is Stug a commentator?
You know what? I've actually never asked the question. So living in Stug's walls, can you just tell? Yeah, I know who Dev is, but like, Stug, who are you squatting with? Whose walls are you in? I live in the walls.
Yeah.
We just call them walls. Look, he's got a gimmick, and that's the important bit, like
Stug is a D&D YouTuber. Okay.
Oh, really?
Okay. So
props. D&D, being a D&D YouTuber sounds really, really hard.
It does. So
like that's a lot of character acting. Mm-hmm. That's tough.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. Well, I think that's it for here. We got to wrap this up. I know Ryan's probably getting late. Yeah, I'll narrate my Virtual Boy gameplay at some point, chat. One day maybe I'll do the train. We'll do a train stream, and I'll just narrate it instead.
Sean just plays with his models for a few hours.
Well, no, I'd be doing it without showing anybody, and I'd just be talking about like, look, I've taken the train and we're going down the tracks. Choo choo. Like, there's a streamer where he had the Virtual Boy. You remember those things?
Oh yeah.
Well, they released one where you could put your Nintendo Switch inside of it, and it gave you the same thing. Well, he couldn't stream it onto the screen, so he just sat there and was like, "Oh, I'm playing a game, and I could see Wario." And oh no, he fell down, and now he's jumping. Like he did this for an hour.
I mean, Sean, that sounds delightful. I think that would be quality content.
Yes. I stream myself sleeping. Even DSP hasn't done that. Well, no, I mean, it happens sometimes. Hard work.
Yeah, I mean, you're just lucky it's not the hot tub meta anymore.
Yeah, I do model trains based. Well, I do models, and somebody gave me a model train, which I've done, and then yeah, I do all kinds of like little models, do like bolt action miniatures and all fun stuff. Yeah. So
that's a patient man's hobby.
Got all these working on. Yeah, it's all kinds of stuff. So oh, the Virtual Boy, I had one of those as a kid. Oh my god, it made me vomit every time I used it.
Yeah, there were some ideas that just were worse than playing a video game.
The whistle. You're not even in this chat typing that. Come on. But yes, I'll blow the whistle.
Nice.
There.
Do you remember the for I guess was it NES? I think it was NES. The Power Glove.
Yes.
Oh my god! It was just a controller that was impossible to use, and you had to hold your arm at a steady angle like this. And as your shoulder started to give out and your arm started to shake, it killed your character.
Well, there was that,
Incredible.
but also, do you remember the pad you could run on?
Oh yeah,
and if you would jump off, like you could do the long jump, but if you jumped off the pad, you basically long jumped until you stepped back onto it. So like you could long jump, and like the one time I did that, I long jumped and then I walked out of that room, and I came back after I went to the bathroom, and I jumped back onto it. It's like, you long jumped 500 meters. It's like,
I'm the best. I'm the best.
Yes, I won.
Yeah, there was this era where Nintendo was selling peripheries that just didn't make any sense, but they had these crazy good ad campaigns. So you'd see like these fucking commercials, and you'd be like, the Power Glove, and it's like this guy with a fucking Thanos glove, and you know. Anyway, you try to get your parents to buy it for you, whatever.
Train, yes. Like I said, this is a hell I've built for myself.
Oh, look at that. Train World 6.
Yes.
Oh, Sean.
Yeah.
How much fun could you have with chat playing Train World?
I have done it. I've done it. You know,
I like to say StreamYards doesn't play that nicely with games.
No, it's tough. And I'm still, well, using OBS kicks my ass too, but like there's other games I want to play with chat though, like
Sex with Hitler.
That one we've actually done on locals, yes. But you know, like there's all kinds of fun games, like Ready or Not's a great one, and then this one's a great one, Tyrone versus the Cops. But this is still the best one, and I'm sure if I did it, Pisco just be like, "See, he's a Nazi,"
because he's playing U-Boat.
Yeah, it's actually a really fun game. I've actually beaten it. Like, made it to the end. I made it to the end of the war, and
nice.
I was doing it, and it's like I'm in the port, and it says May 3rd, and I'm like, we need to leave port. And I get out in time, and they're like, just fill it up with gas. And we went, and I'm like, we're not loaded. I'm like, we need fuel. And I get out of port before the surrender, and you could chance it to Argentina if you want.
Wait, that's the win condition of the game?
Well, the win condition is you make it to the end of the war. You can surrender in a port, or you can do it in Argentina and bail out.
And you made it to Argentina.
I did, and it's hard because they're hunting you at that point. If you're not going to a port, they attack you. So,
wow. So you're like in that scene in like X-Men First Class where Magneto kills all the Nazis in Argentina. That's you.
Yes, you pretty much.
Nice.
Nazis only play Hearts Iron 4. I know, and that's a game I cannot get my head around. Oh, hold on. What game do you want me to see? Are we there yet? Was fun to watch. Yes, I did make it to South America. Johan says, show Ryan the hot. No, I'm not showing him the Hamas game.
You guys, your chat is just trying to lower my estimation.
If I showed this game though, I'm not sure about Pisco, but like Hassan would be like, oh my god, this guy's based. This is an actual game that it's called Fursan Alaska, the Knights of the Alaska Mosque, and you play. It's basically like they modded over a game, and you are a Hamas super soldier, and you attack and murder Israeli soldiers, and it's a real game. And it's
if you wanted to complete your move to the left, Sean, you could use that to get some credibility.
Kill the client simulator. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh.
Well, I'm seeing the vibe. I'm seeing the vibe because when I come on, we do.
Joe's not blue tonight. Oh no! How dare he? So you've met Joe, right?
Yeah. I've been trying to get.
He is a member. He's a member of the tribe. And he's famous for coming on one night during Purim, and I'm sure you're aware of Purim, where the Jewish folk get all they tie one on. Well, he came on the stream blue. He looked like the genie in Aladdin, like blue.
Ooh.
And he was zooted out of his mind. It was a good stream. It was a good stream.
Probably some good content.
It was.
Yeah, I want to do some collabs with him down the road. I haven't had a chance to do that.
So, all right. Well, yeah. But anyways, Ryan, I think we need to wrap this up. We got to land the plane. So
yeah, me too. I got to start getting ready for bed. Wake up tomorrow, do it all over again. But good seeing you. Oh, Sean, always a pleasure to collaborate with you, buddy.
Of course, Ryan. This was fun.
Tonight.
It was fun kind of doing a non-serious one, but we'll be back to doing the real work here, chat. Don't worry. So,
all right.
Good night, chat. You guys take care.
Have a good night, all.
Good night, everybody. Where is it?
Weapons, blacksmithing, and models of planes, esoteric works, and even some trains. Much merriment had while drinking White Claws, tips on hunting, and even talking the law. Whatever you do, just don't talk to cops, even when they nab you on illegal stops. Just 'cause you did it doesn't mean you're guilty, but please talk to a local attorney. Was that the